Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take us? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As I dive in, bloodstains washing underneath the waves. I'll be reaching out to keep you safe.
Hey, Zazel.
Hey, Zazel.
Hey Zazel, nice game.
Two world spots are sealed away as 4 more teams are left in the quest for that third spot and their chance at the title of LCS champion. It's good to be back, Mark Z. It's good to hear your voice after the internet gods kept me away just yesterday. How you guys doing? How you guys holding up in another 4-day week of LCS playoffs? This new format, man, just delivers day after day.
Yeah, I'm excited to see teams start getting knocked out, the dreams crushed. Those are my favorite parts of the year, is when all that stuff comes crashing down.
Yeah, that's right. We are into some more elimination best of fives. Yesterday, Team Liquid swept Golden Guardians, sending them to the lower bracket where they will face off and play for their playoff lives versus TSM tomorrow. Today, though, we have Cloud9 looking to keep their chance at a title alive as they face off against Evil Geniuses. Now, yesterday, as I mentioned, the internet gods did me dirty. So I'll need a little bit of a recap. What the heck happened in TO versus Golden Guardians? I had to watch the majority of it from my cell phone.
You know, a lot of us were looking forward to a pretty close series. We thought this would be a lot of early games going Golden Guardians' favor, and then maybe Team Liquid would claw back. That is a little bit how it went, but it was more dominant than I think most of us were anticipating. Game 1 was insanely slow, and kind of Team Liquid forced their will, which forced Golden Guardians to go for this all-in, 5-range, early game focus comp that got off to the races a little bit, but then became harder and harder to execute in the mid-game.
All you got to know, Dash, is that if you've been watching Core JJ all season long, he got barred again.
Yeah.
He got him 2 games in a row, and he got to do his thing.
Can't let the man have that champion, to say the least.
On top of that all, you know, by Game 3, it felt like things were starting to go Team Liquid's favor, but that's when Huhi and FBI stepped up. They had some great games, some solo kills down the bot lane. That kind of showed that, yeah, it wasn't a fluke what happened versus Team Liquid, or TSM, excuse me, but it was too little, too late. You know, Team Liquid was just working too well together.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching you guys on the desk yesterday talking a lot about how Team Liquid is the team that makes the fewest mistakes. And so, you know, a team like Golden Guardians that needs to find those openings and really extend advantages, it can be a tall order when up against, you know, such a rock-solid team like Team Liquid. But that series also brought with it some other interesting stuff, as we saw in some of those replays. Lilia popping up again for us here on the side of Golden Guardians.
Yeah, we got to see the first Lilia top in LCS, and yeah, it started doing the bopping pretty early on. They did the good TF dive early, but as the game progressed, it was a little bit less about Lilia bopping and more about her just getting killed over and over by Broxa, because Lilia is a good champion into melee. She's going to be able to harass and kind of use her movement speed to get out of trading patterns, but the problem with Lilia is she's also really squishy, so this lends kind of the counter to if you pick assassins, you can pretty much camp it. It doesn't build enough HP to survive all these ganks, and that's exactly what Broxa did.
Broxa really punished the Lilia, and I personally am a bigger fan of Lilia in the jungle. I think, like we see here, she's just too easy to kill in the top lane. You do offer a lot of flexibility, but I think Golden Guardians put her in the top because of the surprising priority Team Liquid put on Mordekaiser. They opened up first picking Mordekaiser, Dash. That is never have been seen before.
Yeah, but you got to give credit to Broxah as well. I think myself and other people were looking at him as the weakness, as people were saying on Team Liquid. But he dominated the early game in Game 1, keeping down closer the entire time, and then actually found a ton of kills in Game 2 on the Lilia. And Game 3 found more all over the map. So he had a great performance.
Yeah, great to see him step up on that Lilia point. It's seen more play in Europe as well as their playoffs are underway. So it's definitely a pick that's rising in popularity and priority. We'll wait to see it have a little bit more success here, But when it comes to and throughout playoffs, we've seen a lot of power picks deciding series one way or the other. So to give us his definitive list of the most OP champions in the postseason, here's Prowly's perfect OP picks for playoffs, please.
Oh, man, just look at this. It's perfectly ordered S tier to C tier. I mean, just give me whatever arguments you guys have because they're probably wrong and you just agree with everything.
I agree with.
There's so much wrong here. I don't know where to begin.
Oh, my gosh. All right, yeah, start. All right, well, start at the top. You hating on the Caitlyn S tier?
No, I like the Caitlyn. I think she's very good, but not every team can pilot
So we'll
her.
start where we can all agree that Caitlyn is an S tier pick.
Yeah, she's a lone S tier pick. I think she defines the bot lane meta right now. She just works way too well with range supports. She also works really well in the fact that it's a dragon meta. And most importantly, her weakness was kind of her mid-game trough. But now when you go the Infinity Edge and Storm Razors build, the double BF sword kind of items, you don't really have that poor mid-game. So I think there's not really a clear weakness for her, and she's just a lane bullet.
So I'll say I think Senna should be up there with the Caitlyn because she's at least getting played. At least the Senna gets through. The Caitlyn barely ends up going through, and Senna is just crap right now. I think she's actually just really strong.
But
that's more in favor of me then.
Well,
if Caitlyn's not even getting through, that means she's broke.
We agree with your Caitlyn point.
Right. So,
okay.
But the argument is
so
that
you mean the Ashe?
The argument is Senna should also be S tier, Crumbs?
Yes. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Senna's not S tier. I mean, I'll argue that she maybe deserves an A tier next to the Ashe because I think she's a good answer to the Caitlyn. But I think before yesterday, I thought it was more of just a Bang and Turtle champion. I do agree Senna should be maybe higher on the list.
Okay, next up, I want to talk about Shen. This is a pick that has been seen a lot. Yeah, Crumb.
He's my B tier.
Why is he B tier, Prowly?
All right, so, I mean, I don't think he's really worth a ban a lot of the time. I think he's a solid top lane. He's in B tier because he does change the meta, but he has so many comfortable counter picks that also fit in the meta. So I don't see him as a perfect blind, and I don't see him working with every team.
I guess my tier system is different. I would put B as a mediocre pick. I think because the way you described it, I'm like, oh,
these are all OP picks.
So these are all
None of them
OP.
can be bad.
Okay.
So yeah, and this is the rating of how OP
I did not
they
understand.
are.
I was like, how is Shen B? He's super strong. Okay, in terms of the OPs, I guess that makes more sense. I don't really have too much to add. I think he's global. He's a front line. He's engaged. He's weak side. You can use him in a lot of different team comps. I think everyone should learn to play with Shen. Whether or not your team is good with him is different. I mean,
that's what I was going to say. Shen does feel like one of those champions that can shift on that list depending on which player has him, which team has him.
You need extra steps to take the advantages with Shen. When you pick Caitlyn, it's pretty easy to get the advantages and really abuse how strong she is. Whereas with Shen, you have to be able to play aggressive. You have to survive the laning phase of the counter. So there's a lot more work that needs to be put to make Shen viable.
All right, well, that's one global. Let's hop to another, TF.
Yeah, so TF is the top of my A tier, mostly because he just ruins any team composition that you're playing against if you're not properly prepared. If you just draft something that has low engage or something that can't punish the Twisted Fate, he's going to take over a game. So I put him really high because if you play against a TF player, it's probably banned. And if he's not a TF player, you need to be prepared for what changes if they pick TF, right? There's going to be DPS top, maybe a squishy jungler, so that's why I have it very high.
I disagree. I think TF is a little overrated. After the latest round of nerfs, I think he's become a little bit harder to execute on. We've seen how important Dragon Soul stacking is. He doesn't actually really help you too much with that win condition unless it's blowing open bot lane. Him going to top side, eventually you'll have to swap that pressure down, and if you didn't snowball your top enough, you're just left with a mid laner who is not very good at team fighting. And so I think it can work, but this is what you're saying. I think this is what you were saying about Shen for me, where I'm like, yeah, if it works with your team and you have a carry top or something like that, maybe this can be good, but his weakness in team fighting is a concern for me.
All right. let's talk about Kalista. This one surprised me, I have to admit, because of the statistics surrounding Kalista having seen a more than, higher than 50% presence with no picks, indicating all of those have been banned. So teams are unwilling to play against it and let it go through. But you have it pretty low on the list.
Yeah, so I don't have it crazy high because we honestly haven't seen it too recently, but last time we saw it, it's still one of the only lane dominant snowball bot lanes that you have. It's also, other than Ashe, one of the most consistent engages in bot lane you can grab. So the fact that he has snowball potential, engage potential, and we're going around with Tactical and FBI kind of being these new AD carries coming out, they're also very good on Kalista. So I have Kalista very high, or higher than it should be because it hasn't been picked yet, just because of its potential.
I mean, another strength of Kalista is she is an anti-inting champion. You can bail somebody that's about to feed and save them, which really goes a long way because we know how supports love to get in the mix when they're playing these engaged champions and suddenly they just get popped right away, forget to use the stone plate. We've seen it happen a million times. Kalista just makes sure that you don't die for no reason.
As a reminder, since we haven't seen the list in a bit, the Kalista was in B tier, top of the B tier, alongside Azir and Shen. Last and final champion to talk about here on your list is Renekton, all the way down in the C tier.
Oh, baby!
Alongside LeBlanc and Morgana.
Yeah. So Renekton is very bottom. The reason why I put him on this list is because looking at all the top laners, they all have a decent amount of counter picks. Renekton, however, is probably the safest blue side blind pick top laner you can get. And that's so valuable when counter pick meta is kind of in season a bit, where you'll see a lot of last picks going to top lane. Renekton is a pick where you can pick it. You don't really need bans to make sure it doesn't counter. Not many people play hard counters to it, so it's just always going to be okay.
I have a problem with this one because to me, you tell me Renekton is OP, it's like you telling me that Nidalee is OP. Yeah, in LPL, Renekton is OP. We don't have that many good Renekton players to actually abuse him to the level that we see and let alone the counters either. You pick him in LPL, Quinn, suddenly your Renekton's just trashed. So I think that Renekton here is not OP. Yeah, I would not put him in the OP tier, but it's a problem of the players, not the champion.
That pick has been struggling, to say the least. I want to get a final word for both Crumbs and Mark. Any picks that you feel maybe didn't make the list entirely that do belong, or that we might expect, jump into the OP conversation over the coming week?
Well, he didn't have Lilia. Yeah, Lilia and Hecarim I would keep an eye on. I don't know if Hecarim's on there.
No, Hecarim is not on there. Lilia, Hecarim.
Set's pretty darn busted.
Okay, and Set. All right. So then Senna was one that you mentioned probably might start creeping in there just based on the more recency teams looking to play her a bit more. All right, we're going to step away, but as we go, here's Azael with another great moment in fake history.
In spring 2016, Immortals made their debut in the LCS, and their performance was nothing short of pure domination. They only dropped a single game that split, and the team went into spring playoffs as the #1 seed and favorites to take it all. In their first series, they would face TSM, and there was palpable excitement to see how Immortals would handle their first challenge. Immortals' prep had clearly paid off, as Huni locked in a surprise Lucian top in Game 1. And you know what? It totally worked. Wow, look at that! TSM were completely caught off guard and had no answer to the Lucian, eventually being swept out of playoff contention. It was clear to everyone who had watched, something special happened that day. A revolution was coming to League of Legends. It didn't stop there though. The top lane revolution swept through not only the LCS and later Worlds, but also solo queue, leading to anyone not playing a marksman in the top lane to be mass reported and shunned by their teammates. Riot would eventually be forced to address this with the still controversial change of sending anyone who queued a marksman directly into the top lane. With one man so clearly at the center of this game-sweeping change, Riot gave a nod to Huni with the Lucian update being clearly modeled on the beloved star. Huni would have his life story adapted for the silver screen and was thrust into the highest echelon of celebrity. He had ascended beyond League of Legends, and his brand became world famous, known simply as Huni. Huni's shoes, clothes, and other accessories simply couldn't be produced fast as they were selling, and no kid could be without their famous Huni action figure. This has been another chapter of great moments in fake history.
Welcome back to the LCS Countdown. As we jump into the series, we look at the Samsung SSD Fast 5 to see how these teams compare when it comes to getting those early game objectives. Everything from first tower to first Drake, Herald, Baron, and of course, that all-important Dragon Soul.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of list, I'm not surprised that it favors Cloud9. They had such a dominant early half of Summer Split. But the one thing that EG is beating them on is first tower take. They beat them by 2 seconds. And this is just surprising because Cloud9's MO was strong early game, strong mid game, and they usually snowball with globals. Evil Geniuses, on the other hand, like, kind of had a rocky split. They had to go through roster swaps. And then they're also just kind of a slower team, especially relative to Cloud9. So the fact that they won here is definitely shocking.
I think the thing that stands out to me the most, though, is the Dragon Soul timer. It's 6 minutes, basically, in favor of C9. And on top of that, if you look at the total number of souls gotten over the course of the split, and this includes playoff series, C9 has 9 souls. EG only has 5, which is very, very low given how important that is in the meta. They're slow to get it, and then when they do get it, it's just not that often. So this is a big concern for me in this series, is how effectively they're going to be able to stack Drakes. I thought they were better at it in the 100 Thieves series, but they're going to have to stay focused, and it's a concern when you start looking at how EG actually likes to play.
It's 5 Dragon Souls out of 13 wins, so they've won more games without the soul than with, which is pretty impressive considering every team is playing around this objective.
I think what's wild, though, too, is that timing. That timing on the Dragon Soul mark. Because when you look at the first Dragon time take by each team.
It's like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's 6:38 for Cloud9, being tied for third in the league. EG, 7 minutes. Right? So they're not that far behind on the first Dragon take, but the fact that Cloud9 is actually stacking for that soul and securing the soul as a win condition a whole 5 to 6 minutes sooner is just pretty astronomical. And so it will put a lot of focus on the Dragon as an objective today, especially considering the way the meta has been going. Probably, I know you've been kind of, preaching from the mountaintops about that, the fact that the game has gotten a little bit more bot-centric and that Dragon and soul is so much an important win condition right now in the game of League of Legends. But ahead of his match versus Cloud9, Evil Geniuses coach Artemis had this to say about the bounce back from the start of playoffs.
We were learning and adjusting in that series. Team's feeling good. I think morale is very high. We definitely were disappointed with our loss against FlyQuest. We felt like we could have won that series very easily. After game 1 and game 2, we made some pretty serious adjustments when it came to our gameplay and our draft. We made 3 draft adjustments and kind of 1 approach adjustment, and we're very happy with kind of how we were learning and adjusting in that series. And I think in game 5 we could have gone either way. So definitely a crushing loss for us, but we really improved a ton in that series, and we learned a lot about how we want to approach the game, how we want to be approaching draft within the best of 5. And I think we showed that improvement against 100 Thieves, beating them pretty convincingly 3-0. So morale is high, confidence is high, and we're looking forward to this matchup against Cloud9. I've often said that the difference between a best of 5 and a best of 1 is how you adapt mid-series and how you change your draft and how you change your gameplay. And Cloud9 was so confident that their read on the patch was correct that they didn't really adapt at all. So for me, we're definitely very confident after seeing their best of 5 against FlyQuest. FlyQuest is a dominant team. They're extremely good. They're very effective at the strategies that they play. And we were able to play them pretty closely in a 5-game series that could have gone either way. So it was definitely nice to see them give Cloud9 a thrashing, what could have easily been a 3-0. That's not to say that we're not going to see a strong FlyQuest today, though, because I think that for us, we learned a lot from our best of 5 against FlyQuest within that series, the adaptations we made, and we're able to take that and translate that to our practice this week and improve a lot in a very short amount of time. So Cloud9 only has 1 day to make adjustments from this best of 5 against FlyQuest, but if they do and if they change and if they learn, I do think that they could be a much stronger team. But still, I think that we're confident in our prep and we're confident in our play as well. How do I live evil? I think I live evil by knocking teams out of playoffs. I don't want to go home. None of us here want to go home. And I think that for us, the mantra is kind of die another day. We didn't want to die against 100 Thieves last weekend. We certainly don't want to die today against Cloud9. So looking forward to knocking them out of playoffs and continuing to live evil.
Welcome back to the LCS Countdown, where we're getting ready for a matchup that many people did not expect to see today. Cloud9 in the lower bracket facing off against Evil Geniuses. How did we get here?
I mean, like Artemis kind of mentioned it in the interview where he's bringing up adaptation and a best of 5. This is something Cloud9 I thought was really good at. Usually their drafts and best of 5s are really interesting to watch, but against FlyQuest, they drafted the same bot lane every single game. They got invaded every single game without a plan, and they played GP Shin matchup 3 times, and then they gave Shin all 4 games. So it really was, they didn't deviate from when they were losing, they didn't change their game plan, and they didn't change their picks.
And that felt acceptable based off the first game where Blabber was Nocturne and died like 4 times in 10 minutes, whatever it was. Run it back and see what happens. But by game 2 and game 3 and game 4, it's like you're losing the early game every single time. You need to change things up.
And that very much was not happening, and a lot of it a product of, Blabber being focused in the jungle. We talk about those invades being crafted by FlyQuest. It was a very targeted plan to put him on the back foot.
It's attacking where C9 was the strongest, relying on the Blabber-Nissi combination. Why not attack Blabber before Nissi can help him out in the level 1 invade? So it was a really smart plan from FlyQuest, and we have to consider that FlyQuest went to 5 against this Evil Geniuses lineup. The team that beat C9 in a very convincing fashion. So I am a little bit worried in this matchup for C9 because the things that were bubbling, that were causing trouble in the back half of the summer split just showed up in full form in the series against FlyQuest, and that is really scary.
Yeah, shut down the MVP camp before it can ever get going. I mean, we talked about the game 1 invade, but there was the game 2 and game 3 where they were taking his buffs away or killing the bot lane even. So that was super effective. I think that's the biggest thing that C9 needs to shore up in this series is get Blabber off the ground, but also some of those mid-game draft adaptations like you heard probably talking about. Ezreal, Yumi, maybe a little bit too weak in the early game to contest those Drakes. They were giving them up constantly to FlyQuest.
Well, so Mark, you're already touching on some of the things that Cloud9 needs to do to avoid elimination today as both of these teams' tournament lives are on the line in that sense. But where does that shoring up for Blabber come from? Is it in the draft with more flexibility there? Is it in the play style? Is it about track having level 1 plans themselves? Where does it come from?
I would say it starts with having your own level 1 plans, know where you're weakest, how this other team would invade you, and then defend against it. So if you think that they have Gragas support or Rakan support, something that can hop walls level 1, watch out for that cheese stuff because it's playoffs and you just need to get wins however you can. That will happen. If it's, a Braum Ezreal lane or something that just has an insane level 1 that can walk straight in, ward early, see that they're doing this, try and start away from their strong points. There's a million things you can try and do different, and they actually start to do that. You can also do your own invades and just split map or do these other situations. They just have to scout way more proactively.
Yeah, again, I'll call back to that week 2 segment where Crumbs was breaking down the level 1 invades from Cloud9 themselves, saying this is the team that's been doing it. Everyone else needs to get on the train. It looks like some other teams have gotten on the train, and it's helped them out. EG versus Cloud9, though, there's a little bit of a history element as well, just because Svenskar and Golden Glue Zazel, all of these guys used to play on Cloud9, and now they're looking at knocking them out of Summer Split and World's contention.
Oh, it'd be such a revenge story for EG because Spring barely matters compared to what the damage that can be done today for taking these guys out of C9 and now being potentially the ones to knock them out of the tournament. It would just be giant.
It's pretty crazy to think that C9 was the #1 team in spring. C9, EG was the 3rd place team in spring. You had Jack memeing on Twitter the whole time, no refunds, and both them kind of joking about how many good players were in the C9 organization. Now they're fighting for their lives. It's not even like they're fighting for a world spot right now. They're fighting to get the chance to play another best of 5 to then get worlds, and their dream is over today.
Yeah, and again, remember that those 3 guys were a part of the crew that dragged Cloud9 from 9th back into contention just a couple years ago, and so they've been in this position before, underdogs in a matchup, but looking to upset and actually following through on that. I want to take a look now a little microscopically on some of the lanes. Let's go to the top lane here because Huni versus Licorice always promises to be an interesting one, particularly when you take a look at some of these statistics, most notably that CSD column.
A big difference of 28, really, that separates the two. It's just preposterous to see at least that giant this early on. But you have to consider that Huni did play a little bit of Shen, but then when you add the games that he had Hecarim, where he was bodying solo, getting solo kills, I wonder how on earth is he falling so far behind in CS compared to Licorice?
I mean, this is just kind of Huni style. I feel like he's such a volatile player, so when he does well,
Huni style.
He's going to do really well.
Yes.
But yeah, when you track CS, it's of all the games, and he's not consistently getting CS. He's consistently fighting all the time. So sometimes it's like the CS goes down, but the kills go up. It's like it's this weird like seesaw that happens with him.
And the next time I go down 15 CS in lane,
I
I'm
gotta
just typing
kill.
Hootie
Cool.
style. I'm just telling my team, don't worry, I'm going Hootie style.
I think that's why you see them prioritizing weak side with Shen as well. I don't want to see Licorice on GP. It's not proactive enough to actually slam the lane. Please pick something that's actually going to, if that's how this matchup's going to go, where Licorice is that far ahead, I want something that's more proactive in the early game, not just farming up.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Well, let's also talk about the bot lane. Again, the meta has seemed to shifted in that direction. We've talked about the importance of Drakes, and so Evil Geniuses, who I want to focus in on here, because we've expressed some concern around, their synergy issues in the bot lane.
So the concern is that they're not playing the champions that are predominantly in the meta, the Ashe, the Caitlyn, and they're really just trying to play losing matchups. But when you look at these players, historically, that is what they have been the best at in playing losing lanes. You've got Bang, who won SKT when he World 1 Championship. He never needed any resources. He was fine to just play even and try to survive. Same thing with Zeyzal when he was playing on C9 before. With Sneaky, they were never about the laning phase. It was always to get out of that and assist the rest of the team. Now that the meta has shifted towards that side of the map, EG has to figure out how do we circumvent the fact that these champions are so important. Well, they're just banning Ashe and Caitlyn and picking Senna, picking Ezreal. And we even got to see a little bit of Lucian, which was the SKT special for Bang that could show up again if they want to just obliterate the bot lane.
That's what I want to see more of, not this kind of weak side stuff. I mean, this is an order of most played, so, Aphelios is dead in the meta. Bang's still playing Ezreal a little bit. I don't want to see TK, Yuumi, and Braum. That's a very weak early game, and it's hard to convert that into Drakes. I want to see them step up and play more aggressive. These are some of your best players. Bang is arguably the best player on EG. You can't wait until 20 minutes to unlock him.
I mean,
Well, we'll have to see if
Senna will be really useful.
Yeah, Senna been rising in priority across all of our best of fives. We'll see if Evil Geniuses has found the strategies to unlock them. We're going to get predictions up onto the screen as we get ready to toss over to the casters, but I want to make sure we get you all on record with who you think is going to take it, and Crumbs is calling it.
Yeah.
Evil Geniuses over C9 in 3-1 fashion. Real quick. Why?
Hurt me, man. C9 has so much more to lose. Think of the players this year. They have everything to lose. There is so much pressure on these players that are trying to get to Worlds, and EG has everything to gain. They don't care. They could just play completely loose, completely relaxed, and C9 already showed that they have no adaptation during this series.
Crumbs is calling the crumble under pressure. With that, we're going to hand it over to Riv and Kobe to get us into Game 1 of Evil Geniuses versus Cloud9.
Welcome, everybody, to Playoffs Round 3. I'm Riv, and I am here with Kobe to deliver you the action today to see if Cloud9 or Evil Geniuses will be the lucky one to win one of the very necessary 2 best-of-5s here to get that spot at Worlds.
That's right. Both of these teams put in the losers bracket by FlyQuest, so both of them have a similar grudge. And I'm excited to see these two go head-to-head because there are so many previous Cloud9 members on Evil Geniuses. If we analyze the draft, though, coming from the playoffs from both these teams, most conspicuous thing missing from both sides is the Caitlyn from both AD carries. Both Bang and Zeyzal still yet to play it, and both EG and Cloud9 banning it. This time around, Cloud9 still showing that Sven does not want to early pick this Caitlyn. They don't want to have, Caitlyn plush of pushing support and have that be the cornerstone of their bottom lane. It's just still so crazy to me because if you look at the careers of both Bang and Sven, both of them have played 25 games of professional Caitlyn themselves. Both of them have over a 50% win rate on the champion for their careers, and Sven's is even 60%, not too shabby at all. So I'm still so curious if Cloud9 are going to remain with some difference in the bottom side. Ezreal being banned by them says that they've banned out their own Ezreal Yuumi, so at least you get that change, Riv.
Well, there was a bit of criticism, so we'll see what they do. If obviously they won't change too much due to that, but definitely looking at how they played and have said that they will change, and that was a fluke. We'll see if they're right. We'll see if they're right. 20 seconds on the clock. Licorice to pick first, or one. So no ban from the side of Evil Geniuses on number 3 as we move over. It's going to be Senna for C9.
We'll get word if that was them being slow or and missing it. You know, sometimes that does happen, or if there's you know, some sort of missing thing here. Regardless, again, we have 6 games in a row, counting from the regular season, of Cloud9 banning Caitlyn. Now, with the addition of the Ezreal ban, they pick up the Senna for him, though. He has been very good with the Senna. That will be a comfort pick, as well as taking it away from Bang. And we have yet another blind Shen. This has been a trend in the playoffs. People have most likely utilized Gangplank to try and punish it, but there are plenty of matchups you can play into Shen, including the Vladimir, that try and either outscale and become a big team fighter, or try and punish it more heavily. Cloud9 don't pick up the Gangplank early on, though, and I feel like they have got something else left for the Shen.
Yeah, they want to see a little bit more, but also pick up a pretty aggressive initiation team here. Only Blabber so far to really get in on that one. Golden Glue keeps the team safe again, so safety in fighting here for Evil Geniuses. With Huni possibly getting that Shen, as you said. Been pretty on point with his teleports lately and control of the lane, so we'll see if that has a big impact on this one. Niski gets taken out of Galio.
Remember, this was Cloud9 losing to FlyQuest, with FlyQuest 4 straight games of blind Shen. So there's no surprise that EG are like, okay, this worked against them already in playoffs. Let's try it as well. See if C9 and Licorice can do enough to try and punish that Shen. It is technically a flex pick, especially with Kalista being picked up for Bang. You can have a support Shen. He's one of the champions that really does benefit from being linked to Kalista, but I'd say super, super highly likely that it will be in Huni's hands, as he already did play in playoffs as well. And EG are just spending their bans in mid-lane bans. They actually don't care at all, even about the Gangplank matchup for top side, and it's Cloud9 that banned it out. They too suspect that it could be a support Shen.
Just being sure they want to get some winning lanes here to start things off against Evil Geniuses. And final 2 picks here. Zeyzal will be allowed that counter pick for what, maybe mid lane, maybe top lane. We'll probably get more of an idea of that here with where that Shen's going on this pick for Evil Geniuses. And the reveal, it's going to be Bard. Nice. So I like that pickup as well. So they have a bit of objective play around here with the Tempered Fate, as well as really being able to mess around in fights with survivability.
Yeah, it's interesting too, as Bard does like to roam a decent amount, especially, you know, picking up chimes and stuff, and Kalista generally likes to be lane dominant and have the support with her to try and establish control of bottom side and in control of Dragon. So I think we'll just see a lot less roaming than you see from a typical Bard, and see Evil Geniuses play around the bottom side, because they've got the Shen, they've got the super oppressive jungler in Graves. And that should be a bottom focus for EG around those Dragons. Meanwhile, Cloud9, I still think it's so hilarious that EG are just like, yeah, we're going to blind this Shen as well. Go ahead, pick your counter picks into it. You could try the Vlad again. Yeah, it is a great matchup for Vlad. Yeah, the Vlad is going to scale up really well, has a super easy time early levels where teams usually punish it, but the Cloud9 have not shown to be able to punish it yet, so they're going to try and run it back here. Niski with the late Twisted Fate pickup, though, that will lend some extra threat to those side lanes.
Kobe, I fear there may be a lack of initiation here for Cloud9 unless they are just full force all in on this, right? You're going to, obviously you have to use vision, but I feel like EG can absorb and just reset fights over and over a little bit better here. I wonder what's going to happen there.
Yeah, so Cloud9's plan here with Twisted Fate and a Vladimir with a free lane is to have your Vladimir have a very nice, easy lane phase so he can scale up into being a good split push presence, and Twisted Fate as well. And then you make your collapses with Vladimir flanks. If Vladimir can get a good flank into one of those team fights, then that opens up the option for you. Otherwise, you can keep him split pushing with the Twisted Fate, Lichbane, try and take down some of those structures.
All right, well, with Champion Select complete and the players loading onto the Rift, it's time for Game 1 of FlyQuest versus Cloud9.
Elimination match. Let's right into it.
Yeah. All right, we are onto the Rift. Getting trolled by Prompter. EG versus Cloud9. Ron Burgundy moment to the max as we head on to the Rift here. Kobe, I'm excited for this game, and I hope we get 5 because both teams love to fight, but also have the patience to get themselves to that incredible fight phase where it's super explosive and they know how to get to that phase in just kind of the best possible way. I cannot wait to see how they do it each game.
Speaking of phase, the phase rush Graves gets the invade off here. Evil Geniuses try and do the 3-1 pincer move on top side. Pretty common, trying to catch people that are waiting in that little banana brush, the curved brush at the river. And they do chase Blabber out, leaving them the option for the deep wards. You see the ward Huni was able to leave behind on blue buff / Gromp. That will signal to EG, hey, 100% now we know Blabber is starting red, so they can try and counter for any possible early moves towards the bottom side. Their main goal, once again, is going to be, hey, Bang got Kalista. We need to play off this bottom side of the map, start stacking dragons. Once Shen gets level 6, you can piggyback onto the Graves for some more aggressive moves from the jungle and try and start stacking up those dragons. The analyst desk was talking about dragons a lot. Now, from the regular season, Cloud9 had the best dragon control stat, 69% for themselves in the regular season. However, in their playoff series, FlyQuest, they dropped to the lowest percentage of dragon control of any LCS team. They only had 22% control in that series. And obviously, a lot of it was due to the bottom lane picks that they had with the Ezreal Yuumi giving up so much bottom lane priority. Will be a different story this time around, but Blabber's seen.
Sitting on a ward while he farms here. So yeah, Sven and Balkan much more easily protecting of themselves, able to go in on fights if they want this time. We always see Ezreal Yuumi be something that can absolutely control a game, but when it doesn't, it really doesn't. We saw Cloud9 getting punished with that in their previous series. So here, playing a little bit more safe, allowing Zeyzal and Bang to push this one up the start as the aggression is going to come in from Zeyzal's Bard and that Kalista for Bang. Up towards the top side for Svenskeren here as they start things off. Doesn't look like any lanes are really calling for too much attention or an aggressive push, really, to kind of sense or say that one of the junglers is going to push or somebody's going to start a gank here. So all quiet on the home front to start things off.
Yeah, Riv, I spy with my little eye on the mini-map, you know, during this camera on bottom side watching trades, Svenskeren went halfway through mid lane, then went back to the Wolf Pit. And just from mini-map positioning, that makes me think he tried to over-pull one of the wolves and it leashed back and he had to go clear it. So might have lost a couple seconds there. And he does still, as Graves, still end up for the top scuttle there. Bottom lane pushing, trying to deny the same for Blabber on bottom side. But those little things coming out at the beginning of the series can be a little bit off-putting.
Slowing you down as you want to get to your kind of role as soon as possible in those ganks. A little fight for the scuttle. They find Blabber as well on the bot side as we have Mountain Drake coming up in 1 minute on this one. Now, Cloud9 is, I'm going to say both teams here, especially with the Swole Bros. Bang knows exactly what these best of fives are. These teams have been built to kind of understand what that mentality needs to be in these best of fives, what it takes to continue to kind of string yourself out and push yourself to the limits here. Golden Glue. Oh, sad B on Niski as he tries to get an early lead in this mid lane. And I'm excited to see what Golden Glue can do in this instance. He's now getting
well, he can annoy Niski, that's for damn sure.
He is definitely annoying Niski. He's already kind of having this play. The pressure's on him, more of a watchful eye here towards the end of the split, and he has shown up. As we said, the stage glue is coming out a little bit more as we get top side and Huni taking down LCR a bit.
Yeah, I like that you're bringing back the Swole Bros term for Svenskeren and Golden Glue, by the way, because that was from the year ago or 2 years ago when Golden Glue and Svenskeren subbed in for Cloud9 on their team and in playoffs and were able to get them that critical victory. That's a theme here with EG versus Cloud9. If we see so many members that used to be on the team, bottom side, Sven is one of them.
Vulcan trying to get ahead of the game so he can devour and spit out Sven. It's all for the AD. Can Sven stay alive here? A few more shots coming through. That's going to be Golden Glue on the teleport picking up Burst Blood on the side of Evil Geniuses with 4 bot lane.
Yep, Swole Bros down to the bottom lane right there, Riv, as they pull off the gank. And that's right into their game plan we were talking up for them from Champion Select, trying to play around this Kalista bottom side, getting those early kills, plus the flashes that were blown on the bottom side. Definitely going to be a big, big boon here for EG. Huni is approaching that level 6, and in the early stages, he has a pretty easy time because Vladimir's still scaling up your extra points in your queue before you really get to punish him. So Huni will be able to make Stand United plays, at least for the beginning of the game, to greatly accelerate and play off of bottom side Dragon stacking. Here's another look at it. They do have a big minion wave pushing at them, and you can tell Cloud9 are like, all right, we need to get this wave bouncing back. But the deep ward that EG placed allowed Golden Glue a really sweet teleport spot, and since Svenskeren was heading down, easy chase down for them. They're back out.
Ooh, Blabber almost getting caught here. Svenskeren over the wall with some true grit. As Niski dodges out on the shockwave, he'll throw back with a gold card, and Cloud9 avoids certain death for a quick moment in mid lane. A lot of summoners being used cross map here, as EG is still trying to keep this pace going. They said, hey, we have a little bit of aggression in the mid lane. Let's see if we can topple that over into mid from bot. It almost worked out.
Yeah, keep playing off bottom side. They get a huge health chunk onto Blabber. He does heal a lot of it back up off of the Raptor camp, and Zeyzal gets caught.
Trying to go for a bit of ward clearing. It's a dangerous job for a support, and Magical Journey makes it a little bit safer. Nobody wants to follow through that. So Cloud9 also trying to get a little contest here. If they know the EG's in the jungle, they're not letting anything slide right now. This game is already getting pretty tense to start things off. I thought it was going to be quiet, Kobe. We hit level 6s and alt here for some, and I think it's going to get even more aggressive right off the bat. Back in lane, Zeyzal and Bang resetting against Vulcan and Sven, and we'll see how this one plays out. Already quite a CS lead here on the side of Sven.
Yeah, and you can see Svenskeren in the jungle as well, just finishing up on the blue buff and can play around the dragon again. Blabber waiting, trying to hover because they know that there's a very possible Stand United aggressive proactive Shen play coming in. The level 6s for bottom lane are very big too though. Since Bang and Zeyzal haven't gotten theirs, that's a lot of playmaking they don't have.
Baits on baits. One bait and the other as supports step up front to see who can do a little bit more damage. Zeyzal feels pretty comfortable there, even though being about 400 HP. Just journey through the wall if he really needed to. And it's going to be ward clearing here as Drake may start to pull a little bit more attention. I think Summoner is coming up. Kills now for Niski as he's looking for Ignite.
Cloud9 pushing them back into 9 so much of the CS earlier. Now with the reset from Zeyzal, they get to take away the dragon. Can Svenskeren go for the steal? Stand United is ready, but so is teleport for Licorice.
It works good too. Niski's already 7, so he puts on Destiny. He can see where everybody is, so this really stops EG from getting a flank on the fight. That's going to be Drake going over to Svenskeren. The kill coming in onto him now as Niski starts to take one down in that retribution kill. Zeyzal trying to get back onto supports. Oh my god, Blabber goes all the way into the fight and flashes Golden Glue over the wall. Thought this one was going to start to fizzle out, but Cloud9 does not know the terminology. Huni almost going down. He gets himself safe. Blabber goes in again, and the safeguard gets him out before the turret can heat up.
Cloud9 do chase down some kills for themselves, but the dragon went over to EG as Svenskeren was able to get that smite first. See what Cloud9 can do, with the extra map presence here. Maybe push in a mid lane for Niski as quick as he possibly can. But man, that is still going to be EG like, okay, at least we did get the dragon. We still have that possibility. Cloud9 though, with the gold lead, see what they can actually do with it. Here's the attempt. Again, everybody knows what's about to take place here. Stand United comes in, immediate teleport from Licorice on the Vladimir, kind of cutting off the top side of the lane. Svenskeren gets immediately taken down. Then we have the shockwave through, but since EG were able to collapse right there, they do get one back for themselves. Blabber goes on the chase, and Niski's gold card, plus Licorice taking the extra magical journey for himself, so means they finally are able to chase down that last one. Nice cue from Blabber to be able to jump through and try and punish them off the back of that dragon.
Push it to the limits. That's what we're talking about, Kobe. We love to see it in the playoffs. You just want to get in your opponent's mind right away, and C9 is trying to smother EG here, quickly getting up even in kills. And that first Drake stolen away by Sven. Like you said, the sigh of relief breathed in that situation. And let's see how the lane swap plays out on this one now with Rift Herald being out in the hands of Svenskeren. Bang and Zazel will actually return back to bot lane to fight off FLICKR.
All right, let's see. Big CS discrepancy with so much of this focus on the plays all around Dragon. Emerging here for Sven. This is actually giant, as he's got 98 CS for himself. The Senna denying so many to Bang through those roam plays that they were playing through the river here. And that is going to greatly accelerate this soul generation, as well as trying to stack up his Muramana. And we'll see how well Senna can take advantage of that range. Because as she scales in range throughout the game, it becomes more and more difficult for the Kalista to fight these sorts of fights. You're going to have to deal with giant AoE from Vladimir, long-range single target stuns from Twisted Fate as well. And Cloud9 can definitely make Bang's life very, very difficult as the game progresses.
Right now they're trying to take back a little bit of what is bottom to see if they can get Bang some free CS here and maybe some plates on this turret. Sven looks like they may want to use Rift Herald, the golden glue just on the blast cone. But this may be making taking a little too long to formulate. And they're going to back off without too much vision on the rest of Cloud9. Niski had backed and Blabber was out of vision, so could be risky. Bang just stays safe here, but like you said, still down in CS, going to have a lack of items, and that's going to come up big when they start to go for these objectives. We said Cloud9 isn't going to want to really force fights, so Fate's Call is not going to really be able to be used. Tempered Fate's going to be going to side lanes when you're getting 1-3-1.
Yeah, and as you look again, constant roams from Golden Glue here, down, hovering halfway between mid and bottom side, trying to support down here. But if Sven is able to make use of these quick trades on Senna, oh, there we go, Blabber in.
Ooh, got out on the kick there. Actually, Fate's Call, as soon as he entered into the magical journey, a quick tap on the ult there from Bang, and they get kicked back. Zazel won't be able to participate in the fight as Blabber's trying to save the rest of the team. Bang forward with the Ren for a bit of the slow. And even with 5 bot, Cloud9's able to walk out of this one, but that means the turret is in danger.
Interesting here, because it is leaving Licorice on the top side, so Vladimir's trying to work down turret plates on the top side.
Niski.
And EG with everybody on bottom side, they don't get any kills for themselves because Blabber disengages the Shen teleport by kicking back Bang. So they are able to get some turret plates with the Rift Herald, but they don't take down the full turret. They don't get any kills for themselves. Meanwhile, Vladimir here for Licorice, still scaling up on the top side and is able to work off a couple of those turret plates by hand.
He's so fast at taking turrets, Kobe.
Definitely some sarcasm there. Early stages of the game, Vladimir, yeah.
just throwing water at it real quick to try and break it down, that erosion. 13 minutes, so they have a minute to go back on plates. But yeah, teleport bot, ultimate bot, rift bot, no turret, no kills. Definitely a big use of resources for EG to come up with nothing here as Cloud9's able to move in with a bit of vision and crouch that down to the side of EG's jungle. And that's going to be an Infernal Drake to start them off. We will see what changes our rift. I'm going with Ocean. Let's see if we got this one right here. Zazel doing a little clearing.
Yeah, and Riv, this is coming down to difference in execution, because I don't have a problem with the EG game plan. It has been the execution of these bottom side plays, and Cloud9 once again putting the pressure on with Twisted Fate.
Bottom side plays, Kobe. All right, on to Bang, and we said it's going to be tough for him that he's down in CS, but now that he's being picked on even more, it may just be a no contest from him as we get into these fights. And even for going for objectives, you want Kalista to be able to be there to just fill Baron with those arrows, rend it out, and be the winner of the fight, but they won't be able to stand up for those fights here.
Kalista on 98 CS at 14 minutes and no kills for himself either, so no gold there. Let's see if Niski gets his way out of this one. Don't think so.
The trifecta coming in. Zazel says, thank you, kill, share, going up 2-0-1 for the support.
All right, so we've gone over this. Kalista's life gonna be hell. It's really, really annoying to try and play Kalista if you are behind like this because of the short range later on. Makes it difficult to have an impact. Can still try and do stuff with the ultimates, you know, but it is gonna be up to the other members on EG to take over the main carry. And here it is once again, Niski's gold car in. You don't have to say much for a bottom lane when you're as a bottom laner, you're like, ah, yes, 4 people down here again. A nice Twisted Fate ultimate and jungle gank. Bang's not getting out of that one, but his life isn't going to get easier. So for EG, they have to turn their sights towards people like Golden Glue and Sven Skaren to pick up a lot of the weight as they try and work their way towards this mid game. But I think Cloud9 are just so much more relaxed with the pace of the game and the direction that they're heading here. Even though they've split Dragons, they've got a really nice setup for it.
Yeah, with Niski, again, teleporting down to bot or having Destiny ready, it's kind of working within the window of when EG has all of their teleports up. Maybe one will be up and they can't respond as accordingly. But as soon as they do use those teleports, we see Cloud9 go in. Now it's EG going in on Cloud9 again on the mid lane. It seems to be where they're able to get a little bit back, but not this time. Blabber fires through first as Huni is able to get that swipe down to get a kill back for the side of Evil Geniuses. It's 4-4 in kills, but the map is still being destroyed here by Cloud9. FLICKR is just having a field day top by himself. Is this just a battle royale in the mid lane over and over?
Yeah. It's like you could put your blinders on and be like, la la la, I don't see a Vladimir. I don't care about a Vladimir. You ignore the Vladimir for the first 20 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden a Spellbinder Vladimir shows up flanking you at your team fight, and you're like, well, we couldn't ignore it forever. Honestly, though, for that last play, I thought this was going to be an explosive one. All right, let's use a Shen ultimate. We're going to pick off Blabber really quickly here. They even committed Sven Skaren's flash to it, but Zazel's Tom Kench saves Blabber. Sven can then use the ultimate and the heal over the top of it to keep him alive long enough for Blabber to decide, all right, you know what? I'm going to trade 1 for 1. We're going back in. He gets the jungle kill. Both junglers end up going down for it. Gold exchanged pretty evenly, but EG trying to do something with some Rift Herald control here. Plenty of wards set up for themselves. And they're really starting to feel the pressure as Cloud9's gold advantage mounts. And the Vladimir will become a dangerous issue.
Just looking at those three as they were fighting and kind of gathering it together here, Blabber, Vulcan, and Sven, just these scattered shields that keep being applied to each other in different ways, kind of faking EG out for that final commitment on a kill. What a squad to be roaming around with. And we saw it, like you were saying, come up big in that last play. Really cool to see how they're working that 3-man. And now towards the mid, EG is going to try to just crush this wave down. We'll see if C9 plans it enough to get back in time. Sven over the wall as he may try to get behind them with the end of the line and smoke screen and scare him off here. It looks like that's what they'll try to do. Nice eye there by Vulcan as they spot him on a ward. EG still wants through. LCR hanging out on top still. The teleport for him is down, so he's going to be hanging out there. Destiny comes into the mid lane as now EG gets pinched out of their own position. And it looks like C9 will throw down Rift Herald here to start things off. Is LCR still having a field day on top? Nice shockwave onto Blabber, so more of an initiation by EG is shut down for Cloud9. That helps them
that
stay
Rift Herald
alive here.
going back into the dirt, Riv. Nothing gained here. Vladimir still split pushing, as you're saying, though, and they're still just like, la, 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 la. Okay, Vladimir, wait till he shows up. But EG do take down the mid turret. It's important for EG to open up this kind of bottom part of the map. They have 15 seconds left to reset for this dragon, and you can tell Cloud9 are ready now to bring LCR into some League of Legends, into the rest of the game.
Are you ready to play? A new challenger approaches. Coming in with a Spellbinder. Brrr, Tides of Blood, Hemo Plague, shots across. One more Q. It's not going to be enough. Lackluster first attempt, but it's not the last, Kobe. We'll see if they can get it. Golden Glue did have to use just about everything to get out of that alive. His flash is very much so down here. And now EG has to come out of this choke point against Cloud9. Sven could get a nice slow and root down there to start off the fight. Vulcan's looking to get that gray health used out here as he baits out more abilities of EG. And that's going to be the Drake going over to Blabber. EG wants the following fight. Blabber's kind of stuck in the pit, but they know Lee Sin's never stuck. He can just get out over the wall. LCR left out to dry here as he was on the front of the fight thinking he'd do a bit more. But Huni is still able to take him as he starts off on LCR, and the rest of the team's able to get their hand in that pie.
And they're going to try and push hard on this too. Blabber waiting in the brush, but that is a dangerous position as EG have the extra person advantage here. They're just sending Bang to go push mid lane right now, while Golden Glue deals with this one. Even though EG don't get that Dragon Steel here, the extra kill onto LCR and burning his flash. I mean, that's kind of what happens when you go for a big play using your ultimate right before Dragon. LCR got a solo ultimate on Golden Glue, and even though they burn the flash for Orianna, then they don't have it for the team fight. And EG are able to take the extra kill there, even though Cloud9 Dragon at number 2 to their name.
EG did a really good job, too, of not allowing FLICKR to find a flank, right? The whole purpose of him being in a side lane that whole time is so he could flank a fight, and then it doesn't happen. Like you said, Hemoplague being down makes it a little bit less effective, even if he was able to get it off. But they are aware that Tides of Blood into Hemoplague, into Vladimir just kind of swirling around under your feet could be the end of their game pretty quick in one fight. Well, 2 Drakes now on the side of Cloud9. Cloud's going to be the next one for them, but still 2 away from Seoul. And EG has a bit of work to do here as Huni keeps farming up. I feel like he's almost going to be unstoppable soon. Licorice is obviously going to keep going and going and going, and that fight will become a never-ending one. This is going to be cool from the top laners if we do finally get a 5v5 and they're just forced to go after each other. C9 still trying to keep it split a bit. You see topside Niski, and that is EG taking advantage of the mid laner being away. Zeyzal picks up another kill at 3-0-2, and Evil Geniuses makes a quick snap judgment. Shockwave coming down as well, and they're fighting under the turrets at Cloud9 now. Nothing stopping EG as they saw Niski away from the fight.
Zeyzal really giving his old teammates a taste of what it's like not having him on the team. The Bard now bloodthirsty with 3 kills for himself. EG after that pick, they will be able to force on this Baron. Blabber's dead, so no smite steal. It would have to be something crazy like, you know, cards coming from Twisted Fate over the wall and a miss-smite, miss-rend combination.
Gold card! Is it going to be enough, though? Nice fight on the backside. Licorice really throwing himself in there to the Wolves. And we'll see if they can take down Niski as well. Sven with a few shots over the wall. They know they don't need to push anymore. They have an advantage, and they're going to pick up Baron at 21 and 50 seconds into this game. Evil Geniuses just put themselves on top by 3K.
Ooh, now it is Sven, Skaren, and Zeyzal saying no refunds, as they were the ones last year traded over to EG along with the package deal with Kumo. And once again, big plays from them. This is now 4 games in a row for the Sven Skaren Graves for himself. Here's another look. Oh, here we go. This is just actually Cloud9's attempt at stopping the Baron, which, as we know, they are able to chase off here. Golden Glue on the bottom side. Good zoning with the ball, and then Stand United is used on top of him as they just turn their sights towards Licorice. Taunt him, CC him down. Vladimir doesn't get to play, and they keep the Kalista inside with the jungler on the Baron as the rest of the players just chase off Cloud9. Now with the Baron buff, they can push so quickly.
It's funny, I thought for a moment as Zeyzal was an enchanted crystal arrow coming out of the screen, and I was like, wait a minute, there's no Ashe. That's a Kalista. Skills. Zeyzal, however, just acting as impactful right now as an enchanted crystal arrow, hitting these cosmic binding initiations on the front line, has gathered his chimes all over the map, so his meeps are hitting that much differently, Kobe. And now as they come up on 23 minutes, 4K gold lead here for Evil Geniuses, really coming out hot to start this game. They take second tier turret down on the top side, and now they have a chance to force these fights on Cloud9. No more split push chances for the C9 team, and that affects their composition.
Also want to shout out Golden Glue. He's got a 2-level lead over Niski's Twisted Fate on the Orianna. Still has yet to die. He himself also has the Spellbinder, and with his Seraphs transformed, he also has the extra safety. Bang, throwing Zeyzal in though.
That was close. Looks like they're going to get the Shockwave out as well. Redemption coming down from the side of C9, I believe. No, that was going to be Zeyzal's. And they start to head out. Red buff taken off. Looks like that goes over to Sven. He's happy to take it as well. They're going to head over to try and get this Cloud. And now they can start stacking up here. I don't know if they'll even have the chance to get to that many Drakes to Seoul. EG can continue to pressure. Obviously, Baron making them stronger right here. But Cloud9 doesn't seem to have a way around these fights right now.
Yeah, it is a lot off of that mid-game pick where EG were able to get the initial kills, transferring them over to the Baron where they were able to pick up even more as Cloud9 kind of straggled in, low numbers with a really low chance of even stealing in the first place. So it seemed like a super risky call for Cloud9 to even go over to try and contest that Baron, considering Rend plus Smite combination for EG is just so hard to out-damage. And EG did a great job turning it around on the members of Cloud9 that were showing up, and and really accelerating this gold lead, making good use of the Baron as well.
I like how Huni just got block it. And they have a few as well. Shuts down Hemo Plague, as long as you don't use them too close to each other, use them throughout the fight without that diminishing return. And
yeah, exactly. They don't stack too well like on top of each other because they do have diminishing returns, but you know, you still get value from it. And Shen has a lot of HP, so it does have HP scaling.
He hasn't gotten that for quite some time now and only had a little bit of magic resistance, so felt comfortable against Licorice and Lane, just going back and forth and really prioritizing that Titanic into his Sunfire with the Lucidity boots to just keep the attacks coming. It's worked out for him. Huni always doing it a little bit differently. 400 gold bounty on him, 150 now for Golden Glue, and 400 onto Zeyzal. I mean, did you see how evil this man is? Just ripping beards off and absorbing people? I'm still, on the Rift even.
I mean, he definitely deserves a ton of credit. And here we go. Twisted Fate ultimate used to try and catch him.
Bang. Saving him over the wall. They're going to throw him back in. No, give Zeyzal to the backside of the fight. And now it's Licorice and Blabber caught a little bit. Niski, Sven, and Vulcan coming through the mid brush to try and save this fight. Zeyzal almost going down. That's the bounty going over to Sven, and that is big as the marksman's going to pick up that big gold. Bang now jumping over the wall as he tries to get himself safe. The gold card's going to lock him in place as Sven and Huni trying to clear up some wards, do a little bit of damage control because that was a lot from Cloud9.
Cloud9 bite back, Riv. That was a great dive onto Golden Glue. You could tell the focus and shot calling here from Cloud9 as Niski teleports in. They force it out from Golden Glue, and then Blabber with the kickback. They take down Golden Glue to deliver him his first death, despite the extra shield coming through and the flash being used. However, for Cloud9, they don't get an objective after the fact, but let's take a look at this team fight. Now, with the Bard ultimate down, C9 say, okay, now is our chance for a counter engage. Twisted Fate ultimate onto Golden Glue, even with Stand United. Blabber lands the Q first before Shen comes in to block it, then takes it to kick him back into the rest of the team. That was just precision kill here from Cloud9 on the main part of the team fight. As we talked about, more of the carry pressure for EG is put on the shoulders of Sven, Skarin, and Golden Glue since Bang was shut down so much early. Niski flashing over just to finish up the extra kill means they do get to buy themselves some more time, reset the map here, push out, and get a decent amount more gold for themselves. But EG will kind of see that one as a bump in the road. And just how effective was that dive, Riv? Well, guess what? Goose egg here for Golden Glue. Didn't get to move.
Absolutely. And I was just saying, how is C9 going to get around these fights? Well, Tempered Fate's down. That feels pretty good. Zeyzal getting chased out. Quick wards here, but not enough across the river to keep C9 safe. But feeling a bit more confident with the Pengu Dab. And get themselves back. Let's see what resets they have as Huni is pushing up bot. EG is getting themselves set up for a little bit of pressure to ward through this bot side jungle. Make sure this next Cloud Drake is theirs. And then a soul point is a reality to pressure for their side. Now we're all tied up on the Drakes here with Rift Herald done and gone for the past 8. And Baron stands once again here after EG has already taken it once. Vulcan getting tagged up by Bang for quite a while. He's going to be stuck, but the Grey Health could help him out. Niski's on stopwatch right now as he gets devoured up and saved. And now this looks like Huni could be on the backside of the fight, but he may be safe in that spot. Blabber going far in, and he's going to be able to take down Sven. It's a back and forth kill as Bang picks one up. But now they're trying to take down the marksman. Stand United comes in, but it's not going to be enough. And C9 continue to walk EG in and out of the jungle and take them down one by one.
Rin, we finally got to see the power of a Vladimir there when Licorice got the secondary engage as EG were all retreating up through this corridor leading up to the ramp from River. Licorice got a giant ultimate and AoE chasing off the extra members, and the junglers traded, but a +1 kill here for Cloud9 in their exchange. Now, again, this was stopwatch pursuits by Niski right before this fight, so he teleports in. Look at this grouping. They get the Senna ultimate over the top. Locket does go down and Redemption, but Licorice scatters the team as he goes in with the Vladimir. Then Blabber just goes for another one of those trades, taking down 1-for-1 with the jungler and allowing the chase down onto Bang. Look at the range on that Senna. Sven getting these slows from so far away because he had such a good, early game, and he has almost Flame Horizon Bang.
Look at Licorice. He knows. He just swept this out, just got warded, but he's going to be going on to Bang. Now they have Destiny up from Twisted Fate. Licorice chasing down now with Hemo Plague down. Easy kill onto Bang as he takes down the marksman. That's quite a bit of DPS gone for C9. They are, or EG, and they're going to be scattered now. C9 now low health bars as they go towards the bot side. Niski not able to do too much in that fight, and the health bars of EG able to withstand everything that C9's throwing at him now. Licorice still on the back, has a chance to heal up. Crimson Rush gives him a good hit there from Scuttle Crab, and it could be enough to help turn the backside of the fight. Shield about to wear off on a Golden Glue, but it's not going to be enough. He keeps him at bay with the dissonance in his own shield. Zeyzal now giving him one more hit, and that's going to be enough as Golden Glue picks up the kill. That's going to be everyone down in a Bud Light ace for Evil Geniuses.
Cloud9 caught with their hands in the Dragon Pit here by EG. This also means that they can push while resetting for Baron. With Baron on the table, death timers this long, Riv, this should be EG moving right towards that big reward as well. Huni taking a quick pit stop for the red buff, but the rest of the team resetting very quickly, and they can actually burn it down. Since, you know, Callista with the Rage Blade plus Blade of the Ruin King now finished for Bang, you get huge attack speed plus that on-hit damage. Let's look at the setup, though, because Cloud9, they want to get to their Soul Point, third dragon here, and they do focus on it. You see Licorice on the top side kind of waiting for the Callista flank, but with Huni down there on the Shen, Huni goes right in onto Sven, who had been kind of carrying the heart here of Cloud9. And even though Licorice is able to take down Bang first, and you're like, okay, it's 4v5, Sven scaring us down as well. Because Golden Glue is still up, Blabber doesn't hit that Q as well as he as Golden Glue kites him back, and Golden Glue is able to finish off that extra kill. Then they're all kind of trapped here. They're calling for Licorice. Yo, we got to fight our way out of this one. Exhaust goes down onto Zeyzal, though, and even though Vulcan gets him out of the taunt, Huni flashes forward. Extra kill there. Golden Glue did also a good job on the top of your screen, zoning out Licorice, chunking him down, and picking up the last one here for EG. As we said, they ran right over to that Baron, got it while we were in the replay, so now they've got Baron push number 2.
Licorice drawing my eyes for the kill, but we need to watch this man in the ninja suit. It's Huni. He's done so much damage in these fights, and he's turning them around in the front of everyone on the side of Cloud9. He just steps up, and he actually drew 4 members there down to try and save Sven in that fight. So now eyes on him in this fight, where the ball's going to go, and he may be the delivery of that shockwave after he comes in off the split push.
His flank was just so big. Again, Sven had been doing a lot of work with this Senna for Cloud9, and Huni starting off the fight with the taunts, taking Sven down to 50% as well. Not allowing him to get off that damage and make use of the extra range was very huge. All right, EG, with this Baron buff, see if they can crack these inhibitor turrets. You just Shen your Shen, split pushing, use that Baron buff. Deep teleport from Cloud9.
Coming in, here comes Licorice. He's speeding up, Spellbinder down. They're going to be able to get the back line here. They know he's there, though. EG, Sven, Golden Glue, and the rest of the team turn. Fate's Call right on to Niski, and that's going to be a Cosmic Binding into the ball. What a combo coming in from Zeyzal and Bang to find that one. And now they're going to be pushing the bot side of the map. The duo of bot for Evil Geniuses coming up so big this game, and being able to absorb pressure coming in from Cloud9, put it back onto the team, and then make sure it's something the rest of Evil Geniuses can use around the map. A little too greedy here as they go for the inhib. They get it, but they lose Golden Glue. Sven's also down, and C9 is going to start biting back as Huni will also fall in the fight. Looks like the rest of the team could make it out safe here, but C9 has a lot of time to clear these waves, get back out on the map.
He kicks him back into the team. Critical kill there for Cloud9 in defending their base. Too bad for them that EG had already taken the inhibitor with the Baron buff, but that is the play that C9 are trying to go for over and over, trying to take down Golden Glue at the back of this team fight. Here's another look at it. Shockwave was used, did chunk down Blabber, but ultimate over the top, Niski teleporting in, kind of chunking them out. There's 2 kills that take place. Top side of your screen, Sven Skarin just gets annihilated by Vladimir. And then he kind of runs to the back, dies to the Hemo Plague. But on the other side was the one that you called out, where Niski gets taken down by that combination. Zeyzal once again able to find it and then use Magical Journey out. Then they're able to push on the inhibitor, and Blabber resetting from that chunk from before goes right in onto Golden Glue. Ward hops, kicks him back. and that means that they're able to keep EG out of their base for a little while.
Oh, the damage from Sven is disgusting. Holy moly. You just saw him take just about all of Zeyzal's health there, having to use a quick heal up on himself. Tempered Fate goes down onto the Drake. They're going to try to slow this one down. This is Soul, and it does not go to Cloud9 as Svenskeren gets another steal in the game for the team. And now they're going to try to back up a little bit here. Good kill coming from Collateral Damage over onto Licorice as now EG is trying to pressure Cloud9 out of this one. They lose Vulcan, and Cloud9 still looking for a bit of a fight here as Wildcard get thrown out. Niski drawing the blue card. Still good damage coming off of that one, and a refresh on the resource. Ven with that range, with that damage, comes up big.
There are super minions on their Nexus towers right now, so EG, they are going to lose a couple more lives as Blabber goes in, but they've got to get back to the Nexus.
Huni! Oh my gosh, Huni's in the base. He can take a few more charged up shots, but at this point, he's going to have to drop the Nexus turret, and then he gets dropped himself, calling all of Cloud9 back. The ultimate distraction this game, and the ultimate force that is not the bot lane. It has been Huni by himself, and still against 3. They're thinking they can take him down, but the shield just keeps him alive. He's toying with him.
This is going to be an interesting Baron setup, Riv. 1 minute and 17 seconds left on the clock, with bottom lane completely open in Cloud9's base, and with a single Nexus turret standing. That means that if you leave super minions unattended, they can take it down themselves. Here's the replay of how we started that one out again. On the minimap, you can see Licorice is on the top side. Bard ultimate used to buy time for the Stand United Svenskeren steal here as he goes in. Taunt goes through. They get the railgun over the top, and Licorice, you can see, trying to zone the other 4 members out as Huni is tanking up Cloud9, but he can't tank them up as long as Huni can. So Licorice goes down first, and Huni even flashes out to survive.
Staying alive through everything. And the super minions as well pushing into the base here. Huni saying, oh, by the way, I'm backing and then teleporting to make some plays. And now we're back to the mid lane. We see lockets coming up all over, redemptions, actives that were used, ready. Summoner spells you can't really say the same for, as that may slow teams down, but right now they are pressuring each other here, coming up just about 40 minutes into game 1 of this series, and they got to do it. I hope we go to the full 5. Shockwave comes out, trying to save him with whatever they can, whether it's Devour or Fate's Call. That's Vulcan almost going down, and that's collateral damage actually coming out of Svenskeren, so a lot of ultimates being used here and committed to this fight. They want it fully, and they do commit onto Niski. They take him down, and it is going to be staying alive Svenskeren on the backside of the fight after that. And they look to get a little bit of position, a little bit of vision, so C9 can't sneak anything from under their noses.
Yeah, Blabber goes in to try and get the execution kick onto Svenskeren, but they don't have quite enough damage. This is still going to be the Baron that we talked about, set up here for EG now. Super minions on bottom side and only 4 members alive for Cloud9 means that EG should be able to get this one. 38 minutes into the game. Again, another Baron picked up here for Evil Geniuses. After that reset, you can definitely expect top side to be getting some love since Scaring heads on over to make sure that they can clean it up. And Cloud9 with this setup are going to have such a difficult time of trying to get any sort of map pressure. And that's why they really need to make use of this, you know, attempted kind of assassination plays where Niski is able to use the Twisted Fate, and then you can, you know, get Blabber's kickback. Because otherwise it is this Vladimir that has to do so much work in the AoE to give you a chance for it. Other than that, they need to get these Twisted Fate picks or Senna snares to really find home.
Well, there's Quicksilver Sash is coming out now. Lockets are going to deny a lot of that kind of front-end burst damage that C9 is hoping will change EG's mind about a fight. 6-1-11. Zeyzal on the Bard. Firing on all cylinders.
Leandries, baby. He is a damage bar.
17 KP, dude. He missed 1 kill this game. I wish I remember which one it was. He probably died immediately, honestly. Or he was already back at base, just spending all the gold that he got here, participating in this one that almost takes down Blabber. Sven instantly ults, showing that there is a lot of firepower behind their jungler to keep him alive. But now that's an ult down. That is Blabber backing. That's a bit of free time they may get with the inhibitor, but damn, that's a lot of damage from Sven. 1 shot on his Svenskeren was about 1/5 of his HP.
Oh, golden glue.
Shockwave
shockwave
comes
into
in. Oh, collateral damage almost takes down Niski. They are all being forced on C9 back to their fountain. This is going to be LCR trying his last hand here. Throws all the cards in, and this may be it for C9 if they lose this fight, but it looks like they may have EG where they want him on the run. Yeah, Niski goes down, but it's going to be the backsides that C9 has of Evil Geniuses chasing EG out of the base.
This is for Seoul, too, as they chase down Huni. Cloud9, just when they need it, they find the flank. They're able to get the kills onto EG, and that means Cloud Soul. Now, it's not the most effective Soul. It's going to give you plenty of move speed.
With the ulties, baby!
With the ults, and that can help out with the plays that we're talking about, where they do need to find these flanks and these angles onto the key members of EG. This is going to help Blabber, help Niski in trying to pull off those plays, especially LCR. And with the time on the death timers here, Cloud9 now get to lay destruction to the EG side of the base and even the territory.
Wait, assist ping. Going down on the C9 side. Super Minion still entering for just a little bit here. And it looks like they'll be cleared out, so EG won't have anything to teleport to. We'll see this ace once again. A Bud Light ace now for C9.
I want to say now, with Svenskaren's build, he does have a spell shield, but he doesn't have magic resistance. Woo. So, anyways, it starts out with that golden blue shockwave I was talking about. He pulls 2 in, but they don't get enough damage to kill Niski, and that will be critical for later in the fight, because Niski then can teleport in. Here's the Vladimir. This AoE for Vladimir, talking about having to do so much work, just happened right there. Niski healed to half in the fountain, then used his ultimate to rejoin and pick up the extra kills. Which is why it was so critical. The burst damage wasn't enough from EG to take him down in the first place. And then, of course, Cloud9 getting the soul after they pick up the kill onto Huni. Very big in extending this game series opener here, Riv. Game number 1 of the series. We are going real deep, almost over 42 minutes here for EG versus Cloud9. Everybody's starting to approach those full inventories of items, trying to decide where do we keep our open spaces for control wards, trying to still prioritize vision.
Yeah, who will have control wards? We see every spot is filled for Huni. He has a defensive item in every single spot, and he's clearing for the team. It looks like they're actually sweeping a lot. 3 of those out now as they just continue to deny vision around, and they want to be able to get these just pile-on dogfights if they can. 4 minutes until they even have to worry about Elder. Baron's not coming up for another 2 here. And Kobe, I'm ready for these next fights. Also, Sven on that last one used the well-played emote, the Valentine's hearts. Honestly, my favorite emotes because it's well played in GG, and they're so good to fly during the game.
Yep, they've definitely been some of the most prevalent users of emotes. See if they keep it up for the whole series, though. Now Cloud9 can disperse into their split push. They've got Twisted Fate on bottom side. LCR rushes up top side to finish up this turret. And as you can see, Sven still collecting souls. Massive range for him. See if they can actually buy the extra time for their inhibitor on bottom side to come back up. That's going to come up significantly quicker than the mid inhibitor for EG. And you can use that for setup for your Baron, only 1 minute away.
Bottom side of the map pushing for EG. Top for C9 as those are being cleaned up here. Looks like we're just taking a moment to get everything purchased we need. Golden Glue has that blue buff for the fight. And Summoners? I think Huni's Flash. Huni and Sven are the only ones with Flash down. I'm excited. This is an all-out fight. This is basically testing you to your limits. It's all up to you. You're leveled. We have 18s almost across the board here except for our supports. And Bang is looking for that Kobe. So this could be the one and done for either side with inhibs down. 52 seconds for the side of Cloud9 and 2 minutes for EG's inhibitor to be coming back up in the mid lane.
Yeah, these super late game team fights where most people are level 18, you also get the least amount of practice with as teams because
that's a great
so
point.
Few scrims go that long. So few games get to this stage that you don't get to practice all of the different decisions that often. Now, with Baron coming up, they do get to force. You keep your split pusher on bottom side, trying to buy yourself some time. Cloud9 will pull EG over to them, forcing them to try and face check. Keeping vision of LCR is key. Those Vladimir flanks will be devastating.
If Bang can get anywhere near Baron, that's bad for C9. Looks like right now he doesn't have that focus just yet. Blabber is going to be the sole member attacking it as he takes a bit of damage, but he's going to be fine. Svenskeren picked off from the team here as Huni's going to give him Stand United, but it looks like EG is a bit too scattered for this fight, but are they able to win it that way in the chaos? The evil genius is thriving. Is that the way it's going to happen? Now getting pushed back here by Blabber versus 2, and no, Cloud9 is able to rain on EG's parade. More kills coming through as we're going to see that as Bang coming back up and Bang going back down.
Cloud9 attacking EG from 3 separate sides, and now they can chase them down. This should be C9 inside the base rib. Sven, he turns ghost, he doesn't have the damage. One more, Blabber hits
he gets it, Blabber! Disgusting. Eagle Eye Blabber coming in with a safeguard Q. That's going to be the Nexus turrets for Cloud9, and what a game from both teams, Kobe. Cloud9 will, though, take game 1 of this series as they just give Huni a last what for.
That one was very, very back and forth, Riv. We end with them both at 82,000 gold. Small difference in the change there on the gold, but man, Cloud9 in the end for that last team fight with FLICKR flanking on the top side from Baron, and then the teleport with Twisted Fate ultimate coming in from FLICKR from the bottom right, and Sven at Baron with the extra range on Senna, attacking from 3 separate areas, made it so difficult for EG to fight their constructed team fight. Sven gets taken down on this side by Sven and Vulcan, and then they're able to pressure through. Nice gold card from Niski starting it out as well.
What a back and forth overall as well. We saw EG trying to fight in the early game, and Cloud9 would instantly hit back, and then EG would go back, and we saw the lane swap coming in. So right off the bat, teams were trying to set their own pace, and I loved seeing that because we knew this was going to come to a phase where EG wanted to fight and C9 wanted to split, and eventually that just came down to all-out brawling as we got full inventories, full items, and I hope we see that for the rest of the series because it does get grueling, but I think these are 2 teams that can really push each other.
Definitely hope so, Riv, because game 1 went the full distance, so maybe the entire series will.
Yeah, Cloud9 looking super good on that one. We are going to be tossing to commercial break in just a second, but looking at how they were able to get that victory, it may be a little worrisome to the fans, not to say the least, right? Sometimes you really want to see your team come out strong after having a difficult series against another team, and that just wasn't the case this time. But overall, still a good game and a lot of hope from both sides. I cannot wait for the next one. It's time for us to step away, but when we return, it is the State Farm Analyst Desk that we'll be breaking down Game 1.
Welcome back to the LCS Dome presented by State Farm after Game 1 of Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses, where Cloud9 somehow wrestled that one away from Evil Geniuses. Very back and forth game by both teams. Some misplays, some top plays on both sides of the coin. Let's get into it because there's a lot to discuss. Starting.
I was trying to be like, hey, it's game 1 of a series between EG, so let's be hype. Let's try and be excited. They missed a ban. I gotta be honest, dude. Like, missing a ban is not acceptable in playoffs. In game 1, it's just not. And it blew my mind. And we'll get into more stuff that happened this series. I totally forgot about the missed ban until I saw this again.
On the graphic.
And I snapped. I snapped. I can't. This is such a bad game 1, if I'm being honest. And I need these teams to step up to be excited about them at all.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about this draft, but missing ban included, but as well as where each of these teams index their priority when it came to the champions themselves.
First pick Senna, huge. I think the champion is great. You're denying a lot from EG that already played it, and they have the choice. Should we pick Ashe or should we pick Kalista? We made a segment about how they don't play to win lane, and guess what? They picked the winning lane champion, and they're not able to deliver because that's not how they play their regular season. That's not how these two players play at all. And so the Kalista, an idea that's good, it's just not something that EG is comfortable executing.
Probably.
I will say they really index into bot winning with the Shin top and the fact that they had 2 5-man bot plays in the early game. However, I think only one time they actually got a kill. The other times they're getting turned around. So it does look like they realized, C9 wasn't focused around bot doing Drake, so hey, let's take the Shin, let's try to focus bot lane ourselves. But yeah, it comes like you said, this is not a game plan they've used all split, so it definitely did not look good in this first playoff game.
What I will call out is that C9 did deviate from their Ezreal Yuumi bot lane of the previous series, right? Banned their own Ezreal out of the way, but Mark, where EG was absent in the champion select, C9 was absent level 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. They're 4-man invading you. Okay, you back off. You drop some wards on the retreat. What blows my mind is what's happening in the bot side. Sven is just AFK at Krugs. If you look at the minimap, he's not moving. He doesn't start moving till now. This is like 15 seconds after Blabber got shoved down. You saw it. He goes to drop a late ward on the enemy blue, and this is the right play to do. You're just doing it 15 seconds too late. And because it took him so long to do it, he's going to lose his flash level 1, and he has to flash that Bard binding. It's just being totally asleep at the wheel in what was one of the most criticized parts of their game in the previous series. And, EG tried to punish it, without his flash. They go for a really forced gank down the bot lane. It's the right idea. It just, it was just surprising to see.
Yeah.
It was surprising to see such an error. Luckily for C9, about how well the Senna TK did work out, they still crushed lane. Despite that mistake level 1, despite the first blood, Sven and Sven and Vulcan had a great laning phase and absolutely dominated, nearly flame Horizon bang.
Well, and this goes back to your point, Crumbs, around how Evil Geniuses is not a bot lane that we normally expect to dominate the lane, but when you pick champions that are geared to do so and then don't even accomplish that goal, it's going to call up some questions.
Yeah, I seriously don't know what was wrong with Ashe there. You could have just taken the Ashe and split the lane. Would have been a lot easier to farm. You would have had shorter range that the Kalista had, which just made it so that Senna just harassed you all the time as we saw the laning phase play out. Because how do you win lane down a flash as well and then getting killed and getting so much attention down there? So it was just a bad look from the laning phase from them. But luckily, Zeyzal outside of lane was able to do some work with the Bard, which was what got EG rolling. And they ended up having like a 5,000 gold lead, ton of Barons. Still unable to close the game out, though, which is tragic.
Yeah, it was through that mid-game, these mid-game skirmishes where Zeyzal starts to find some of those big Bard plays to really force the Summoners, find the kills, and set EG up.
Yeah, he had a roam earlier as well to find a pick on Deniski, landing a really nice ultimate to set up a wall binding. Here, Golden Glue had some really great shockwaves this game. Over the course of it, he stepped up. The problem was so many kills ended up on the wrong people. I think, Zeyzal had 6 kills. You had Huni with 5, and you only had like 1 kill on your carries, which I think actually did hurt them quite a bit over the course of this game, was how far behind Bang fell, the fact Golden Glue was not picking up the kills, or even Sven Skaren. They needed someone to be able to get a little bit more DPS, and it was just really unfortunate it didn't work out for them.
Right, because let's take a look at Huni's stats probably, and I think when you take a look at these, you're going to say, hey, those are some mighty good-looking stats for somebody who's on the losing end of the game itself when it comes to the damage output that he had out of a Shen. Like, that sometimes rivals what 80 carries you're putting out in a game.
Huni style.
Yeah, this was actually a very, very good Huni performance. They took the blind pick Shin and 1-2, so they're honestly saying, like, okay, give us your biggest counter pick that you want, because they also banned 2 mid laners in 4-5, so it's not like they picked the Shin and then protected it. They picked the Shin and just let Huni like deal with the Vlad counter pick, and he did so well. He was getting really good flash taunts. He was never ulting very late. He was ulting on time, and he was actually the only one that could finally get to Sven and kill him. So he's kind of playing this like assassin Shin style, but he was pretty successful.
Yeah, the thing he was lacking was damage behind him because he was so tanky. He was living throughout the entire fights, absorbing a ton of damage. He just needed someone to help kill the other people on the enemy team to then catch up with him. But he was fantastic, and I think it's a big draft problem for C9 going forward in the series. Like you're saying, Crumbs, about hit me with your best counter. It was the Vlad again, and it didn't really do much throughout the game. Eventually, Vlad got online when he got his build completed, just because Vlad keeps scaling. But through the early mid-game, Shen was popping off, and I think C9 need to find another answer to Shen because in the week off, they have not found it.
I mean, unfortunately for Evil Geniuses, the Fed Shen was not enough to pull the game through to victory. Cloud9 able to turn it around with some very interesting and creative team fights, to say the least, eventually finding ways to get that TF in flanking positions, and Huni becoming less and less an issue for the backline to deal with.
I think a big problem for EG was dealing with Tahm Kench and Senna. The Tahm Kench ended up doing a ton of work. The Devourers kept so many people alive, and then Senna just became an absolute demon. And like Mark was saying, the fact that the carries were so starved of kills and gold never allowed them to challenge the Senna and Tahm Kench. It really was just Golden Glue that was piloting most of the damage alongside Huni, and those were not able to ever get in range. This is one of the fights that ended up going really well for C9, and a big part of it is actually going to be the Vladimir here. He teleports to the backside, so they already know that the fight is happening. TP with the twisted bait, they end up doing so much. And just watch FLICKR. She's on a ward, but it doesn't matter. He just does all E, and that kills Sven Skarin. 2 spells.
At the same time, you know, Huni's on this front line taking the rest of the team. It's really tough for Huni being on this island, but they needed a little bit more to get it done, and they couldn't do it. This is also a game where Seoul took forever to show up. They didn't get it for 40 minutes. Yeah, there's 7 Drakes. Both teams got to 3 Drakes, and the fact that C9 was able to start winning some of these late game fights stopped the Soul from going down. I assume if they were able to pick that up for EG, they wouldn't be able to close this game out with that extra bit of power that it would have given them. Not the case here, and these fights were the only reason they were able to hang on.
Probably as we watch the rest of this game roll out, EG has selected blue side with selection. So what are the couple changes you want to see them make here in game 2?
So I think there's definitely going to be a change to the bot lane. C9 cannot run this draft where they ban 2 AD carries first pick it. Now it's going to be EG able to first pick the AD carry. If it does look like this, I expect them to be taking the Senna. But hopefully I want to see Zeyzal back on those protect the Bang champions. I think that works really well for him. However, on the top side of the map, I'm kind of scared Huni's going to get Shen again. And I think he's performing really well. I think it works well for the team, and I think it counters C9 a lot. So I want C9 to look for a Shin ban, and I would hope EG sticks to the Senna early pick and probably the Shin top if it's open.
Yeah, first pick Senna, that's what I want to see. Just make sure Bang is on comfort, because clearly when he is not, it's going to hurt.
A couple ideas here. Both teams had opportunities to win in game 1. Ultimately, Cloud9 took it, but it indicates that we're in for quite a series. We're going to step away for a short break. When we return, we'll see if EG can tie it up after this.
Brightness is increasing. There it is. Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Cars like this don't come around often. The redesigned Type R, the most powerful Civic ever, from Honda.
Welcome back to Game 2, everyone. Cloud9 leads Evil Geniuses 1-0 as we head into our next champion select. And what a Game 1. I hope both teams pick things that can continue to fight as much as they did last game, or at least make it as explosive.
Yeah, if Game 1 is any indication, Riv, we are in for a wild ride in this elimination best-of-5 playoff series between Cloud9, our second-seeded team from the regular season, and Evil Geniuses. Let's get right into the pick and bans. A lot of people looking at both bottom lane. I am also still looking at jungle. Sven Skaren on the Graves 4 times in a row for EG has done a lot of work as well. There's the Senna ban from EG's side themselves. Sven was absolutely massive in that game. Huge CS lead on bottom side. Hugely instrumental in a lot of those C9 victories in team fights.
C9 running down the clock for their bans. We'll find Huni Shen on the top side.
All right, finally. No more blind Shens, Riv. Cloud9 they're done with trying to counter pick it, done with trying to play Gangplank or Vladimir or anything into it.
Like,
it's off the table.
Please give me a blind on blue. I'll take that. No, Cloud9 takes it away. And Ash will be banned from Evil Genius's side against C9. So no for sure fire initiation coming from the marksman unless we get another Kalista in here.
What about the Caitlyn? So Caitlyn, they have banned Caitlyn
that was
almost every single game from Cloud9 since Caitlyn rose to prominence as number 1, and it gets through this time. Finally, we see it picked up here by either Bang or Zeyzal. This is going to be Bang's first one here for Summer. Now, you want to get a pushing support with your Caitlyn. Something with range advantage. Obviously, Morgana is great. It's a dream scenario. You hit a binding into the trap, headshot, boom, dead. She also can help you push the lane with the W, so it's a great partner, but plenty of other ones work. I would expect EG try and grab it now before the extra round of bans comes in for Cloud9.
Looks like Blabber, Sven rather, feeling good on the Lee Sin as Blabber played that last game with some incredible initiations. Really, Cloud9 was left out to dry when it came to being able to just get in the fight onto EG, and C9 Blabber was able to do that as Licorice would come around on Vlad here. There's the Thresh lock-in, actually, so it's a bit more safety and playmaking coming in here on the side of Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, interesting choice. Not opting for the Morgana as it works so well in so many ways. Thresh is also really good with Kate and Kalista, so it's also a slight takeaway from Vulcan. Obviously, Kalista with the ultimate works so well with it. And Thresh, you just have to be a little bit better with placing your traps. You know, you have to account for the pull back on Death Sentence and Flay for Caitlyn. So it just means that Bang and Zeyzal need to, be
for sure
in sync with their attempted combinations. Meanwhile, Cloud9, this time they're going with Twisted Fate, Gangster the bottom side when they have the Kalista. Sven, known for this iconic champion way back from his Niels days in Europe. See if they can dominate with this as well. I would expect EG to throw some more support bans then to try and take away Vulcan options to pair with the Kalista, as they didn't opt to finish that one up. Meanwhile, the Golden Glue Orianna ban is drawn.
Evil Geniuses, a few more seconds. The Morgana actually gets banned by them. So.
Yeah, Thresh is not great into Morgana. So if you opt not to take it with the Caitlyn, then you don't want to have to deal with that power as well, even with the pairing on Kalista, because you can definitely get chased down. Yeah, you get binded, Kalista forward, hops forward, and gets to stack up a lot of spears for Rens.
Azir being taken away from Golden Glue. A good fight changer and reset there that would be allowed into the Evil Geniuses composition, if so. And now we have the final ban from EG. Are they looking top lane? Maybe Licorice? Maybe that Vlad? The Shen's already banned. Maybe that Gangplank. Camille. Okay.
So maybe EG are going to stick Huni on tank duty, I'm thinking. That has been a really successful strategy for them, even when it wasn't the Shen. Also playing a little bit of team fight with the Gnar and things like that.
Oh, I was going to say, give me the Gnar.
Yeah, if Huni can play frontline for them with a Caitlyn setup, and you just put Golden Glue on something like Zoe, those would be pretty good blind picks to round out the EG style comp here, where with Caitlyn, course, you want to push early on your lane, but then you also get to siege later on, setting up those traps around objectives. But here we go. The Blitzcrank, the Omega Pull Riv. I love this combo. The Ballista.
Yeah, this is, I can't wait. Let's see if they pull it off. Let's see. The Ornn is locked in, as expected from you, sir, as they would lock a tank in for Huni. And they do get a lot more GPS and the Cassiopeia lock in here for Golden Glue.
Yep, super strong, 5v5 comp setup for EG. Whenever you have Caitlyn, you want stuff to protect her. Now, if they can scale and get to late game Caitlyn and Cassiopeia, that is huge teamfight presence. Ornn starts handing out upgraded items, but this is back to old style, original Cloud9. Push the tempo. They have a crazy bottom lane for creating plays. Ballista here, supplemented by 2 globals from both of their solo laners coming through to focus that area. So it is a bit of a switcheroo from game number 1 here. And we'll see if C9 can be the ones to focus on the Dragons.
Yeah, we have big domination from Zeyzal and Bang last time on the bot. Even seeing Bang go back in CS on Kalista quite a bit early. They were able to put up so much force and pressure from that bot side, calling through an early swap in. It actually, I think, helped them a little bit and figure out how they wanted to get their fights when it wasn't C9 that was able to split push right away. Now it looks like we might get the same thing from C9 and still a fight comp coming in from EG.
All right, baby. Excited to see it. Blitzcrank also means watch out for your level 1s. The analyst desk were giving out demerits for Cloud9. They're like, you just got beat with multiple level 1 plays from FlyQuest. Wake up. Let's see some attention to detail here.
Yep.
Where is the Blitzcrank going level 1? I personally love the increased range on the Q for Blitz. It opens up a lot more blind opportunities. So if you've been studying your opponent's kind of default defense opening, and you can do blind pulls on things like the Banana Brush just from straight river on that side, and you can yoink people that are usually watching from the super common spots. Tri-Brush, a lot of these things over the different pit areas as well.
Just the line of scrimmage.
Yep, defensive ward from your trinket ward, then you recall for your sweeper, super common. As long as you drop it around the 50 to 55 second mark is, for me, the recommended timing. You get a little bit more juice out of your trinket ward time, and then you get over to your preferred buff start just in time.
So only Niski for the Unskilled Spellbook. Zeyzal actually bringing Exhaust here, expecting a lot of aggression from the side of Sven and Vulcan, who have Ignite and Aftershock in their lane. Golden Glue starts off with a quick blast. And I'm always excited about the mid lane of these two.
Niski's got 250 health already.
Yeah, that damage was just absurd with a few quick hits. Huni playing the Volcanic Rupture as he just keeps himself safe, farming up. Obviously, Licorice is going to keep his health. So I think this early game is going to be quite slow. We'll see which jungler makes the first move, as they're going to be on opposite sides of the map for just a moment here.
Yeah, which jungler and which support. I love the Blitzcrank Thresh lineup here. Blitzcrank can always have a quick reaction to Thresh's attempts at moves. You know, obviously rooting himself in place for Qs and stuff like that. So we'll see if Vulcan can try and punish EG. Otherwise, if you look at the runes and you talk about Caitlyn going the lethal tempo, I really like it for pushing for lane, because if you can land a Q through minions onto them, proc your lethal tempo, then you need to push the lane with autos really quickly. Also, it's you know, good for DPS later on. Obviously, scales really nicely. The people taking like fleet footwork seem to be a little bit more scared for options in lane phase, but it doesn't help you too much with all-in scenarios, you know. So
exactly, that's what I was gonna say. It's like Blitzcrank isn't hitting you with auto attacks from long range. It's not like his ultimate comes up right away and he's just shocking you. Yeah. So good pickup there, and definitely, like you said, will help Bang scale a little bit more, find those headshots later in the game a little bit quicker. Everything counts. See where they move to here. Setting up a few traps, getting a bit of vision down, as Svenskeren is going to start working towards the bottom side of the map. So it looks like they will both get their scuttle, respectively, to each jungler. Blabber on the top side here. And FLICKR is just backing at that point, too. It's not like they're going to dive Huni just yet. So things are not really that active as it was in Game 1. Everybody does have a little bit of scaling to do before they're super powerful anyways, except for the junglers.
And your Gangplank into Ornn, it's no surprise you're trying to go for the early recall. With Gangplank, you just try and make use of your Trial by Fire passive and spam out Qs with Grass procs. And liberally chug on your Corrupted Potion. So you just constantly trade, push the wave in.
Keep swinging.
Then once you push, once you can push it in, you'll force the bounce back there off the turret, and he buys time for himself to go pick up the quick cull, which he can just super scale. Gangplank already getting extra gold generation, now he gets even more, and you continue to try and stack up your grass and your extra gold rocks. Okay.
That's one of the grabs they were looking for. Does the exhaust get used? No, it does not. Zeyzal feels like he can get out of that one with the Ignite as well from Vulcan. So kind of a bit of a win there, but almost going down. That was pretty scary for him. They're going to try to back Vulcan, maybe seeing here, going for the grab. It definitely reaches over that wall, even from farther back for Vulcan. Blitzcrank having a pretty long hook. There's two with each other. It's always easy to grab one. Both head towards the top side of that hook and dodge out Zeyzal as he finally gets his Flay auto in. So now they pulled down Blabber. He's going to say, no more fighting. Go back to farming. And we're back to jungling for him.
Yeah, I like the ward placement. You know, supports have to practice that a lot, where if you place it over 50% through the wall, trying just the right spot there to get it over into the brush. Nice job by Vulcan to do that. And then I also wanted to give props to Bang's trap placement on Caitlyn. Because early on, the traps, especially for new users, can be super hard to use within combat like that. But you saw when Vulcan pulls in Zeyzal and Kalista starts to stack up spears and jump towards him, Bang tries to use the traps in front of Sven, where he would want to jump forward to continue the chase onto Zeyzal. And these kind of defensive traps are putting a stop to the chase down of the deadly Blitz and Kalista combo.
And fast fingers. Definitely putting a few in that early to make sure he's got enough traps to do so, as we saw two there in that instance. Blabber finding Zeyzal. Warding is always dangerous, and unfortunately loses the investment of that one with only Blabber inside the jungle. Cloud may be drawing some attention here, but more so to see what happens in the mid lane, and that's already warded out by C9, so they know exactly what's going on.
And we're on the roll here. Vulcan and Blabber with the Blitz roam. After first support back, Zeyzal and Svenskeren have to give priority over to them, because it's a little bit more intimidating with the pull. But they're right back into the river to try and find any extra vision that was left behind.
Ooh. They don't know there's a trailing snake on this one. Snake in the water. There's the Destiny that's going to show them what's going on. Looks like we'll get a few more members of Cloud9 here as Niski comes in. They're going for the middle of the fight, and they drop down Svenskeren quickly on that one. Moving towards the top side here. Flash forward. Another gold card from Niski. He's going to lock down Golden Glue. No, it's a blue, and he's still going, but the kill comes through. Niski finds that one, but causes the flash from Blabber to be called through. And C9 feel good about it as they pick up Cloud.
Yeah, they spring the trap here. Twisted Fate level 6 is ready, as Niski is able to use it to pull in the backside. And Sven and Vulcan first up the top side of the river, because they were able to push up down there and are able to get the pull. Vulcan lands the Q. Critical one for him to be able to get that kill for Cloud9, get the dragon control, and win the skirmish.
Looks like Huni wants to clear top, get himself a back as well, as you see using the Ornn Horn there. Licorice will teleport back in. So first Cloud over to Cloud9. We will see how this occurred, and you were right, the level 6 just coming in, and Niski was coming back to lane too, so he says, oh, that was necessary, thank you.
Yeah, they line him up right on the wall there for Blabber, and then the pull on target for Vulcan. Nicely done by him to pull in. And that's when Niski just teleports right in on top of it. Gold card means they 100% to zero him. Really like the chase down too, though, onto Golden Blue, as after they kind of separated the EG members. You know, them heading down through the river, man, all Cloud9 members could group up in focus fire, and EG were on two different sides of the fight, so it's kind of awkward for them. And that is going to be just the early game momentum that Cloud9 wanted. It was a pretty early dragon for themselves to be able to start stacking, because that's going to be the goal.
Yeah.
This EG comp this time around, Riv, this is a hard outscale. This is super, super good scaling for EG, but it's going to be difficult for them to get there. And Cloud9 have a lot of proactive tools to be able to use to get their gold lead and get to their soul before EG overwhelm them.
Exactly. Make sure EG cannot reach that point first here. Golden Glue is going to be transferred blue. We'll see how he can handle Nisqy now in the mid lane, working on both those fast summoner spells. Just a bit of a miss there by Huni as Licorice gets a quick parlay in as he keeps pushing the lane. No real CS discrepancy coming through. Golden Glue does have a bit, as we did see the rotation coming through from Nisqy there in the last fight. And now it could be about the Rift Herald. Blabber cleans up one, and with pressure top from Licorice and Nisqy mid, this should be Blabbers and teams.
Yep, got to use this early game presence to control those neutral objectives. So right on target here, Cloud9 force again. It's one of the benefits of the changes to this new season. You know, greatly accelerating if you do have this control early on in the game. Dragon at 5 minutes spawning, 8 minutes here for Rift Herald. You get to keep on pushing ahead. And this is so early that Blabber will have his choice of where to spend the extra gold. Golden Glue! Ooh, nice turn.
Almost. A little bit of damage. It's inevitable, but he's trying to do what he can before he goes down. Another one onto the glue in the mid lane. That's his second death on this one as he tries to stack up the tier. Scaling will happen, but ever so slowly here. He's got a pretty big hill to climb with all that pressure coming in from C9 now. Very active this game. After the 6-7 minute mark, Cloud9 has started to find advantages in just about every lane now.
Yeah, and they have just cleaned up this game tenfold. The last one was just wild, action all over the place, back and forth, Riv. But Cloud9, with their global advantages, man, this feels like on cooldown. Nisqy using this Twisted Fate ultimate, and Golden Glue out in lane without the flash, easily turned around on. I will say Nisqy also had a really good turn not to get stunned up. I wasn't too worried about Licorice, but now I'm getting a little bit worried.
Woo! Almost. That last brittle proc from Bellows Breath, or if he had the charge into the Volcanic Rupture, would have done it. That was a really nice little double pop-up Huni had there, and I don't think Licorice was expecting it either, Kobe.
All right, see if he can sustain up under the tower. Huni gonna proc his Demolish right in front of him. All right, I didn't kill you, but I will take the turret play.
Feels good. A few turret shots there, and an orange will get Licorice out of that potential death zone. And Svenskeren was looking forward to. Licorice just leaves in time with a bit of sixth sense there and gets himself to safety. Rift mid is going to put you down to just about slightly with that turret alive. And a good kill from Golden Glue keeps it there. So now very prepped in mid. Cloud9 could get a bit of gold for themselves here if they get a decent fight onto EG. The Fangs go in. Looks like Gold Card will just stop him in his tracks.
Yeah, so Cloud9 with this really, really good early game gold lead for themselves. This accelerates a lot of these builds that are critical for them. You know, Twisted Fate going to get the Rod of Ages stacking up really quickly. 11.5-minute purchase here for Nisqy. So that will continue to stack up really easily. Dragon in only 27 seconds means that you can just rotate over your Kalista Blitzcrank. Ultimates are all available for them, and the vision in place for them to try and pull a pick too if EG get a little bit too dangerous and try and check for themselves. Honestly though, second Dragon, I think at this point EG should give it up. It's not gonna break the game for you quite yet, and you do not have the items to make the play first, but they go for it anyway.
Zaza with the hook, but he is surrounded. Another one maybe to come in from Vulcan. Wait, Svenskeren gets into this fight as they try and keep him alive, and that is not the call. They're both going down quickly as Cloud9 continues now to find advantages in EG's own jungle. Pushing down towards the bot side, Sven should be able to take this turret down, and Vulcan will go ahead and start dropping wards everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they're easily able to get the picks. If EG are going to go venture into this dangerous territory trying to get vision, I mean, they don't even have a mid-tower to rely upon for defense here. Taken down with the Rift Herald, and then one more little push there by Nisqy opens up the mid lane. That is a very dangerous roam from Zazel to try and get vision of that secondary Dragon, which they're honestly not going to fight the fight at anyway. So Cloud9, big punish there. You step out of line, they get killed. Twisted Fate ultimate number 3 for Niski as well finds a huge amount of value. And this game just looks so different when Cloud9 bans away the Shen and the other team doesn't have that extra global to come in.
And look at the scorelines, Kobe. Svenskeren to Blabber, Golden Glue to Niski. All the action there around the mid, but teleports around and then making sure they're hitting Golden Glue after Niski got an advantage in that fight, knowing they could take down that mid laner quicker. They're really acting on the weak points right now of EG as they cannot find their footing. Looks like it's the pings towards the top side of the map for a few EG members as Golden Glue needs blue once again. His cleanse is down for now. He's going to try to stay safe with that buff in the mid lane. And they really don't have too much forward vision, so wherever Blabber could be coming from, right now he could walk into EG's jungle. They wouldn't know.
Hooney's doing so much work here on this Ornn up there by himself, though. Even though Cloud9 are just swarming around the rest of the map, hard winning mid jungle, pressuring here from the bottom lane, moving up for a lot of plays. Hooney's up there, bonking away on the turret, gets most of the turret plates, pressuring LCS. Now they're gonna
cursed him
down. Oh my goodness. Done it again.
Blabber trying to come in. He takes a bit of damage, but once they get the touches on, it'll be the assist, it'll be the kill. No! EG quickly collapsing onto this. Two members of C9 almost going down the minion wave, really giving Svenskeren hell on this one. He finds the route around with the Sonic Wave and resonating strike takes him. LCS picks up that kill, and now another one coming through here for Niski. That one got a little scattered for EG as they were trailing a fight they thought they were going to win, but C9 had the same idea.
Yeah, that one definitely got a little scattered. And guess what? The only person up there from EG who lives is Hooney, who they started it out on with Cloud9 going for that gank. And Svenskeren and Golden Glue take a lot of tower shots, diving that one. Bottom side, we'll see if the same happens again, because guess what? Twisted Fate Ultimate is up, so that means Bang and Azazel are like, all right, we're out. I guess I'll just leave. Can he slip back in? It's dangerous. He's waiting for his jungler to come. Oh, I kind of want to, but I shouldn't.
Can you help me with these 3 minions? And Sven nicely allowing that wave to die to the turret as much as possible. Quickly wards forward as we see this one more time. The long fight that EG looked like they were going to come out on top.
Right, so Hooney's buying time right now. He's just like, hey, I'm going to buy time. He goes into the brush so they can't see him, doesn't take damage until he absolutely has to. Goes for the 1v2, gets him with the double brittle. And Svenskeren, he wants to get the angle past the minions, so he takes 2 turret shots on the way in. And even though he gets the kick for that kill, Golden Glue then within tower range also takes a turret shot on the way out. He gets chunked down, and that dive from EG on the attempted counter actually kind of backfires against them.
The Scryer's Bloom from Niski hit over by their Raptors was perfect. Swept right over both members rotating from Evil Geniuses. Really was able to give them the UAV when they came in on the fight and make the right decision. 6,000 gold here, 16.5 minutes in for Cloud9. They came back strong in game 1. It was a back and forth. Cloud9's inhibitor fell first on the bot side of the map as they were blue, and then started to win fights as EG could not break the base. Here, Cloud9 carried game 1 momentum, and it is all their tempo. Setting up wards now, looking for more hooks for Vulcan as they create opportunities for themselves on C9.
Yeah, and this is the type of Cloud9 that people saw in spring, and we're expecting for all of summer as well, and did get to see in the beginning. So with a few adjustments, they're at it again. Vulcan now, see if he can get Golden Glue.
Right after the petrifying gaze, he just hits him, pops him up, no follow-up damage. Niski's still healthy even after taking that ultimate. And the Rift Herald on the bot means they can focus wherever they want to as that wave crashes in with Niski. C9 able to work all over the map right now, and LCS is still defending top against 2.
Niski, man, it just feels like Golden Glue cannot land a Cassiopeia ultimate on him. Every time, quick turns, shows
He's a dancer.
Back. He is a dancer. And he's dancing here with Shelly right on through to the inhib.
That he is. Here into the mid lane, C9. Niski, stopwatch goes down, trying to keep himself safe, but nope, that's not going to work.
Our caster cursing is getting real good, though. Whoever we're talking about and a play pops out, boom, dead. Biscuit's done.
Consistency, Kobe. That's what we aim for. Here we go. Nice hop out of that. Fate's Call keeps Vulcan safe for only so long, and no, EG cannot get the finishing touches there. Back to help out Zazel here on the other side. Blabber could be going down, dashes into the brush, no vision there. He's just out of reach, but it's FLICKR and make sure they take that one down. 2 down now for Cloud9 as they misstepped and a bit of greed and a bit of reset. EG obviously was going to find a window at some point here, but their base is already open, and they still have to care about those minions on the bot side.
Yeah, Evil Geniuses are very happy at the timing of that catch on Cloud9 too. Stopping this early threat of a Mountain Soul, just getting this single dragon for EG is going to do a lot for the morale of this team, that they're all trying to rally with each other, saying, all right, we're scaling for late. We got to scale for late team fight because that's what it's all building towards for them. The problem is that when Cloud9 get this early lead with this comp that's focused on it, and they also get so much more map territory. And EG's scaling is in the team fight. They need to bring their power together in those solid 5-on-5s with Huni on front line, getting that big initiation for the Cassio and the Caitlyn, but there's going to be so many more options for map play from Cloud9 because they can open it up so early. We're pre-20 minutes, they already took an inhib. It's kind of crazy. Bottom inhib is down before Baron even spawns, so C9 just have all these options for extra pressure with supers on bottom side, baiting them over to Baron and looking for these picks. It never really allows EG to set up a controlled 5-on-5. Here's another look at the dive as Niski goes real deep into the rest of the team.
Nice hook, Zazel.
Yeah, good hook, and also teleport comes in from Huni. He finally shows up for the rest of the squad to correct everything. So good stall there from Zazel and crew, evasive maneuvers and locking Niski in. And then, as you know, the chase down they go for. Blabber's able to get in onto Vulcan, chunk him down, and push him back out. Then Blabber, all right, where's he going? Nice little play there once again from Zazel. He's really been on point this series despite the troubles that EG have had.
You see Golden Glue hovering around the bottom as that inhib went down. See who's down there to keep farming that up now as they have super minions there. But also could just be the scene of a more aggressive fight for C9. So I wonder if that going down, helps them. It doesn't give C9 something to fight around as now they can farm up those minions. Yeah, Golden Glue goes down and says, thank you, I need to absorb all these. Teleports.
Yep, teleport pretty early here, and you can see those supers we were talking about on bottom side. Those will slowly pressure EG. Baron damage is going through, but Vulcan's getting kind of low.
FLICKR takes a big hit. Baron still lower and lower as the Ornhorn comes in. That's going to be a low Vulcan. He's the chase of the fight, but the support is a lot to put priority on. Baron's going to go down. That's a Ren to Sven. And that is Cloud9's. If they can get out of the fight alive, EG is trying to take down Sven in the brush or in the pit right now. Niski and Licorice coming around to flank. Can they do the job they need? And that's a double kill coming in huge for Licorice as they try to put a few more shots in. Huni says, that's not something I can do. Licorice would make him walk the plank.
Licorice then goes over to clear up the extra vision here. Can he make this stop? Because the supers are on the Nexus Tower. Huni actually goes for the minions first there. If it wasn't for Licorice going back in there and landing that barrel chain, killing off the extra members of EG, that would have gone real dirty here for Cloud9 because they stuck inside the pit, and every time you give over more money to this EG composition, they are trying to build up for the more stable 5-on-5. So here it is. Vulcan, he comes out of the pit 50% health, but he hits the key hook. Look at this hook on his fence. Scarin attempted dodge, but he lands it, and they take down the EG jungler. From that point, even though Zazel does the exact same to Blabber, and they 100% Blabber, they know they've got the rend here from Kalista for Sven to be able to secure it for themselves. And him hopping around inside the pit, this is like, you're not going to die alone. Goes in, gets the gold card. Double kill here for Licorice as they're able to get the triple for Huni on Ornn. And it's really the top laners with the last laughs.
Full house from the top laner. Huni over Licorice. 304 to 307. You love to see it. Two completely different stylistic playing champions. And they're both bringing it. And the same damage in a fight, too. get brittle. Licorice making people walk the plank here. I cannot believe it. I want to see more of it, Kobe. This is what we wanted. Now they're getting for the fight again. The Ornhorn knocks up a few, but there's no one to really chase here. EG is trying to catch up, but they're just straggling a little too much. The catch up there is from the hook coming in from Vulcan, and that may just started the fight here. And that's a kill going on to Sven. His heel's down. He was not able to flash away as EG's trying to move fast. Mid lane being pushed by Niski right now as he takes down a turret for Sven going down.
Yeah, Cloud9 still trying to keep their pressure with their split push. But man, Cassiopeia just annihilates Kalista. Short range, and you get the miasma down on you. You can't hop anymore. Sven just gets destroyed as EG gets another kill for themselves. And this is with the Mountain Drake available.
Niski's out. He says no way. All right.
8,000 gold lead here. That should get increased for Cloud9 too, as Licorice takes the secondary turret. But EG are getting some back for themselves. As big of a lead as this is, Cloud9 still looking to keep the pressure on.
The people that need to do the damage have been on the map. They've been farming, right? Bang's only fallen once. Huni hasn't fallen. Yeah, you've lost Sven and Golden Glue, but Golden Glue is going to get there. That's kind of the point, right? Even if he doesn't have shoes. 25 minutes coming up on the clock here. And the CS still staying pretty close throughout the game, which isn't really giving anybody too much of an influx of gold. It's just Cloud9 able to control these maps, find the kills, and find these turrets. 7-1. Bottom inhibitor for EG is finally spawned here, as they do not have much to work with, but are still finding fights that are turning Cloud9 away every so often.
Yeah, and once again, EG are going to try and group up into their death ball. See if they can get Cloud9 to take one of these fights. I think Cloud9 should continue to pressure sides for it, but they are calling collapse here. Going to have a double flank. Niski top, Licorice bottom. Do they get a hook?
That pressure being down makes me think that Vulcan wants to go in even more, but the pressure of his hook being down could mean that turret falls on the next wave. So Zeyzal with a little more room to work with on opening an initiation, and Licorice is going to say, all right, let's go to the bot side. Niski will take top into the 1-3-1, so it's imperative Cloud9 does not get caught from a hook here.
And Cloud9 trying to now commit to the split push, so here's the dive.
Flash out, Sven's in perfect safe range to keep himself alive there, and the damage is being done by Cloud9. EG tried to bite back, but C9 working around the plays of Evil Geniuses so well throughout this game, and making sure that they are on top of everything. Quickly TPing out of this, Destiny used by Niski to get himself to safety and also let his team know where the rest of EG is.
So EG do get outer turret, a little bit more money for themselves, and the flash off of Sven. But they've got 2 exposed inhibitors now. So they're trying to swat away all these Cloud9 members, attacking from all these different angles. And Baron is coming up in just over 50 seconds. So that is going to be the real issue here. How can EG deal with the Cloud9 split push while C9 are using Baron to draw them out? It's going to be very difficult, but from Cloud9 side, they've got the level 16 Gangplank with teleport available here for Licorice, as well as Niski waiting on the cooldown of his Twisted Fate ultimate from his last excursion split pushing. And they can just try and keep that pressure up on Evil Geniuses and force a poor decision.
A little test on Licorice there. Let's see how much this bullet does. And he has oranges. I like it. Moving back up. That's just a quarter of the way cooled down for Bang, so he should have ace in the hole before any major fight there. Clean up for Niski on the bot side here. EG just trying to put the carrot out there. Nobody from C9 wants carrots right now. Nobody's taking this fight.
It's definitely a dangerous one to go for. Yeah.
Cootie's like, just fight me once. Somebody pull me in, leaving.
They're gonna force. Are they gonna force on Baron before Cloud9 can set up their split push? They're gonna try and force Cloud9 out of this timing window.
I wonder if they walked it back to this trap line, right? They still have a ward just above them they need to clear. And C9 sees it, obviously, before the fight starts now. But here it is, Kobe. They are going to try to rush it. Damage from Cassiopeia is pretty huge. if they can keep Golden Glue on it. Right now, he's actually separating for the fight. Cannon Barrage goes down when they need it. Niski to the top side, and he almost takes out Svenskeren with just a few spells. Svenskeren Rage kicks Niski away, and the fight ensues over towards the Baron pit. A great Ornhorn from EG, but they're not really able to deliver any damage to the side of Cloud9. A lot of knock-up, a lot of combo, but no follow-through, and C9's able to stay alive, all 5 members in the Baron pit.
Yeah, Niski teleports through with the Twisted Fate to pressure Svenskeren back out of the fight and just rend through the double front line there. Big burst comes at the end. Cloud9 with Baron. Now your split push is really empowered. This mountain that comes up is not Soul, so they actually don't even have to worry about giving up the extra dragon either, as they really just need to get back to work pushing so they can end this game before EG get any more powerful. Here's another look at it. Gangplank ultimate with the center right on Svenskeren and Baron mean that Niski, he goes right for him. Then you look at the front line. Hook here in from Zeyzal. Golden Glue tries to follow it up with the AoE, but Sven got the ultimate off there for Kalista, pulling it back Vulcan for the big knockup. And all the while there, Licorice on the top side, getting the Gangplank barrel damage done, setting them up for the rend on the front line.
Golden Glue lost his Banshees there, moving too close to Baron as well, right before that fight started, so he wasn't able to get too close to Vulcan either way. So little things going there as EG tried to pressure C9 into the fight. I mean, at this point you have to. You got to respect the try there and going against this squad that can really just start to pummel fights, even though they can split push too. Vulcan here on the side, vision wards being placed, so they are denying everything EG has here. And it's going to be 3 members towards this bot to try and keep that down. Niski doing a bit of work on each of the lanes here as he starts bringing up middle.
Okay, they're trying their best here for EG. Caitlyn traps go down, trying to fend off the Baron empowered push from Cloud9. This is going to be it. Huni looking for the big Ornn ultimate. Now that C9 are in this smaller corridor, if he can get a good one.
My thoughts exactly. Quick grab in onto Svenskeren, and it looks like Vulcan will not get a kill out of that. It's a stopwatch for the Lee Sin, and he keeps himself safe. The base cannot get that same result. The inhibitor is going to be going down. There's another hook. Oh, they get it. The Fate's Call grab. You love to see the Ballista coming in, and they're going to be able to get themselves a few. The Teemo fingers go up. Everybody says high five around. We're getting the combo, and now they're going to be taking down EG in their own base. 30 minutes on this one, a little bit faster, Kobe, as they found the way this composition was working from the get-go. Cloud9 takes game 2 quite swift.
All right, couple more autos on the Nexus. Do we go for KDA Riv?
Of course
goes
we
down
do.
First. Huni, the only one left alive at the Nexus. How fitting for EG. He's definitely been putting in a lot of work, but Cloud9, this one, game 2, much more convincing than game number 1 for C9, putting themselves up 2-0 in the series at set point.
And what a way to pick off the rest of the composition and the team with Blitzcrank, with the rest of what they were doing this time around. They're bringing variety to the table, and it seems like they're having fun doing it on the side of C9. And the games, again, got pretty brawly. I'm always happy to see that.
Yeah, I mean, remember back to the beginning of this game, because that was where so much of it was determined. The roam through the river, Niski's able to use his first Twisted Fate ultimate, good pincer movement by Cloud9. They're able to have Vulcan land the Blitzcrank hook. They get first blood, start stacking their dragon pressure early, and they're able to use the advantage with their jungle, with their mid, basically on cooldown for the Twisted Fate ultimate.
Right, and then we saw them go after Golden Glue. And then again after Golden Glue, and then again after Golden Glue. And they definitely made his life tough. So maybe we'll see some more protection around that. Maybe changes from that side of EG to figure out how that mid lane can be more of a priority and protected. We're stepping away right now. When we return, the State Farm Analyst Desk breaks down that match of the series. Don't go anywhere.
I'm Randy Diaz, mayor of Seltzer, Pennsylvania. If you love Bud Light like me, you'll love Bud Light Seltzer. It's a hard seltzer from Bud Light. It comes in 4 flavors and tastes great. Bud Light Seltzer. It's unquestionably good. If you don't love Bud Light, you'll love Bud Light Seltzer. It's not Bud Light, it's hard seltzer. It comes in 4 flavors and tastes great. Bud Light Seltzer. It's unquestionably good. Questions? Call us now.
Welcome back to the LCS Dome, presented by State Farm. Now, before we jump into that game, I want to apologize to our Twitch users for that first Analyst Desk segment being cut off due to some technical difficulties. And Mark, in those difficulties, you were expressing some discontent around the two teams and their approach and preparation to game number 1. You're asking for our teams to wake up. Well, it looks like one of those teams did just that here in game 2.
Yeah, I was molding after that first game, but I've calmed down a lot, and C9 was a big part of why I calmed down. I think that they had a much better game here in game 2. They definitely stepped up, and pretty much every member had a better game here than the previous game.
Yeah, again, still not without faults, probably, and we'll get into some of that. Still asking for improvements from some of these teams to challenge maybe that top team in Team Liquid later down the line. But let's get into Champion Select. I want your opinion on EG's approach here.
So I will give some credit to Cloud9's draft. They banned the Shin. Hell yeah. That was giving you too much of a problem. Good job. But on EG side, I was really upset. They took the Caitlyn and the Thresh. So that's my happiness meter. It's going up. You know, Caitlyn, Thresh. And then when we get into 4 or 5, C9 hasn't picked their support. The best support against Thresh is going to be the Blitz. Probably one of the best supports with Kalista is going to be that Blitzcrank. So you actually have a 2-for-1 ban where you ban the one that counters your support and you ban the one that's going to synergize with Kalista, because they have TF Kalista in the first 3. So that means they're probably focusing bot. So they banned Morg. I don't know. Wasn't a big fan. Ban Camille. Okay, that means you're going to go Huni Tank. One of those bans has to be Blitzcrank. And make them pick the Morgana and have a shitty comp. Or make them pick, the Alistar and have a really bad early game. But don't give them free, bot-focused draft like this.
I think that's a huge problem in this series right now is bot gap. It's 3 bans thrown down there, 2 ADs, 1 support, and the enemy team's still getting something great. You need finish banning it out, like you're saying, drop the Camille and just hard commit to playing around bot side with this draft, or don't have to spend so many resources trying to get ahead. But when you spend this many draft resources and you're still losing in game this hard in the bot lane, your whole game plan just falls apart.
So I think the Cassiopeia didn't make that much sense to me either, because it makes sense in the context of you've seen the Graves and the Kalista. You know that it's going to do well with the Miasma against those 2 champions. But for the rest of the composition, for what C9 is trying to do, they're never really trying to run at you, which is what Cassiopeia is best at. She's best with dealing with melee champions, not people that are going to keep you at range and kite you away or instantly hook you and explode you. So I don't like the Cassiopeia for Golden Glue. I need to see a higher priority on champions for him. I would have even liked to see something like a Syndra. Just give me a standard Syndra Lee Sin meet 2v2 and play that way so that you can then take that early game power, transition it to the Caitlyn, and now you actually hit a nice mid game.
Yeah, not liking the adjustments here made by Evil Geniuses going into game 2, but along with some of those more aggressive champions in the bot side came that aggressive C9 that we know and love from earlier in the split, making plays happen, creating their own advantages, Mark.
Yeah, huge playmaking in the early game, and this is something that their comp's just going to do better. Crumb's talking about so much scaling on the enemy side. Ornn and Cassio, and even Caitlyn scales after her initial early game, but, C9 play it better. And from there, they're able to pick up 2 early kills, and it unlocks the TF to make all these bot plays start happening. Prior to this, bot lane farm was relatively even. I think it was around 50-50, a little bit more in favor of Sven, and then they just keep making plays, utilizing this Blitzcrank. Vulcan looked fantastic on it, and it comboed really well with the Cassio. Pretend that's a gold card. Either way,
it was a good dodge on the Cassio.
It was a dodge on the Cassio.
Yeah, that was the more important part. Yeah. But it still sets the kill up very nicely there, and they kept finding these picks.
And this is kind of the C9 we kind of knew and loved. EG had a good rotation bot, but Cloud9 called them on it, and they're able to snatch them up. And then here, Blabber's in the jungle waiting. They're able to get another port. Vulcan's able to come over. So, this is the kind of stuff we want to see, where they win that first engagement, and then they grow their lead. And in the last few weeks with Cloud9, maybe they win these engagements, but they don't snowball it as well as they did today.
Niski just got him there on another ult dodge, then hit him with the dabbing penguin. Love to see it. Some of those emotes and some of that levity coming back into Cloud9's play. That levity that we know and love as one of our mean teams is also one of our most aggressive teams. And so as we continue to roll through some of these highlights, Mark, I want to return to that point you were making around bot difference in this series and how much that has been highlighted through these first 2 games just in the statistics.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the one good play for EG was around the top side, because in the bot lane, everything's falling apart. It's a massive advantage for Sven and Vulcan. Game 1 was like, it was not even like that Kalista was there. Then they take the Kalista themselves, and this is after 2 bans thrown at Sven. They ban also the Morgana out, and this is just a huge problem right now for EG, that if your bot lane's just always going to be down gold, always going to be losing, and the enemy team's able to make plays off of it, you're in a heap of trouble. And it's great to see Sven stepping up. He's been drawing some criticism recently with some of his mispositioning that Ezreal series, but I still think he's probably the best performing member on C9 ever since they started slumping.
I mean, I think C9's compositions have just been so much about helping out Sven. You have Twisted Fate, 2 games help you out, and then you have the Gangplank, who can also just chuck out an ultimate if you ever get a little fancy in the bot lane. So they're doing a lot in the other lanes to make sure that Sven does really well, and I'd like to see what happens with EG and their bot lane if there's no Twisted Fate, if there's no Gangplank. If you say take the Shen versus Vlad matchup or any other non-Gangplank or non-global top laner, how does the bot 2v2 look like? Because I think it has been mismatched thus far, but I still think it's Sven favored.
Well, here's my question to you. Let's talk about this next game. A series point for Cloud9, as well as Evil Geniuses facing elimination now. What is the strategy? There are options available to Evil Geniuses. They've had some bot focus here. Huni's been playing very well, though, so there's got to be a consideration to whether or not you switch things up and you do start going Huni's direction. I'll also float this idea out there. Substitutions are allowed. Definitely Jizuke in the wings. Would that ever be on the table?
I don't know about Deftly coming in because the pairing with the support is weird. I have no idea how much they've been practicing, neither with Jizuke. I want to see EG just drop a lot of the AD bans. Clearly, they're not doing a whole lot. You're not separating Sven from a poor matchup and getting bang in a great one. Try to aim those bans at the other parts of the map and see what happens, because you're getting an AD that you want. Clearly, there's going to be a Senna available, an Ashe, a Kayle, a Kalista. You're going to get what you want. Same thing with Sven. Just play it out and make sure that it is an isolated 2v2.
Yeah, I agree. I think eliminate the bot focus. Your bot lane is not performing great this series. Someone who is Huni. He's playing so well. Give him some agency, but most importantly, you have to ban out that TF or keep Niski away from Galio. If he has TF or Galio, you cannot play a top carry matchup for Huni to kind of thrive in. But he's right now their best performing player. I would say give him some draft resources, see what he can do with it.
All right, Mark, the word is in. EG has gone to blue side, no subs. But with that, blue side, what do you expect? What do you want to see?
I'm not too surprised about the no sub. I think Golden Glue has been okay this series as well. So I'm not too surprised to see them keep him in. Just get him off the Casio and give him something that's a little bit more impactful in the early game. But I totally agree. Otherwise, flip your attention to topside, who was brought in for the ability to be a carry. Like we're saying, bot's not working. Give them some tools. Cloud9 getting a little ahead of themselves.
Yeah. Hey, well, they're feeling confident. But if we know anything about this tweet,
they're phoning it in, Dash. They're phoning it in. This is a lazy tweet. You know why? Because they used this yesterday in C9 Academy's playoff game. They used the same one. They're just using it for the LCS team. If you watch both teams, you know.
We don't do that here.
That could be the death of a brand on social media. But I tell you what, if they manage to pick up the series, I think the brand will live on. We've got Game 3 and potentially match point after this short break. We'll see you back here in just a minute. Well, more like 3 minutes, really. But
Welcome back to the LCS and Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. I'm Rib, still here with Kobe. And Kobe, it's Evil Geniuses' backs against the wall. They face elimination and a loss here. So if there were ever a time to unleash a master plan, now is that time.
Yep, we are down in the losers bracket. And this is territory that Cloud9 are used to, with always having to make their late season runs through the gauntlet and always getting to Worlds. Only one team will move on, Evil Geniuses or Cloud9. See if they do continue with bottom lane focus. EG are still throwing some bans here at Sven, banning out the Ezreal, which Cloud9 love to use with the Yuumi, although not to great effect.
Making sure that gets banned out or picked. If they do pick it, they make sure it doesn't work. Seeing where they go here with these next bans. I'm just talking about kind of the teams and the pressure they're facing here, but Evil Geniuses as an org back in just a few splits. Already find themselves back in the playoffs, but they do see a bit of struggle here when they go up against those old powerhouses like Cloud9, who have always been ones fighting for, like you said, making their way through the gauntlet, pushing it to the limits. We are to picks. Priority here for Evil Geniuses, as Caitlyn is now banned this time around, and so is Hooney's Shen. Maybe a support, maybe that's Senna.
Yep, that's what I was talking about. Senna is first picked here for EG. They do take it away. Cloud9 have the option of running the reverse side of what Sven was able to get his big CS lead over Bang and Zeyzal in the previous one. So if now they're able to run the Kalista side of it, we'll see about the support matchups lining up, because supports obviously are going to determine a lot of that as well. But Cloud9 have also kept that focus up on globals, and they're going to continue to do so here. Twisted Fate again for Niski. Last time around, it was just on cooldown. Twisted Fate ultimate, making plays with the team, and Blabber gets the Graves again as well, for some priority in the jungle.
Yep. Easy to leave Kalista away for now, since they already have Senna. No worries until bans once again. And Evil Geniuses looking around. Do they give Hooney the Rumble? It's just a hover for 3 here. That would be amazing. Yes, they lock it in. Hooney gets to deal some damage from the top side of the map this game, so he may be drawing a bit of focus from Cloud9 to start. And it is going to be that Lee Sin for Svenskeren.
Elimination game. Evil Geniuses are giving Hooney his best champion, the Rumble, once again. This is going to be huge for fighting around dragons as well. Rumble extremely good at pushing the wave, trying to get to level 6 first. You try and get early magic penetration, so your ultimate is even more devastating. And that AoE should be layered around the dragon fights, where you can throw it through the corridors leading up to it, draft some more CC to help your team in setting up and keeping people in that burn. Can be a way that you really will use top lane to pressure the other side of the map. So we'll keep track of his teleport. It will be very critical for EG in setting that one up, and probably going to need some more crowd control to really make it find full effectiveness. Cloud9 banning away, again, the same 2 Golden Glue champions here, those scaling super common mid lane control mages.
The Orianna's the big one to take away from that comp, just getting a shockwave into that welcome carpet. You don't want that. See if Sven can lock in here. Right now, Evil Geniuses could definitely bring a fight. So can C9. We're talking a little bit about crowd control and where that may come from consistently here from both teams. And that is checked off box there, number 1 for Cloud9 if they lock in the orb.
All right, Licorice happy to take up the tank side of the matchup here, and allow Hooney the pushing that he wants. See what EG are going to blind for Golden Glue this time. Again, I have really liked his Zoe, but that would be some spice here. Solo lane Lucian has been rising in priority ever since those buffs. We are going to get it again here. All right, Golden Glue, what can you do with it this time?
And the tank, it looks like Zeyzal does lock in the Nautilus. Braum on the other side to block the culling and a few others. But it may just be a swap around here as they have 15 seconds to run that clock out. Cloud9 feeling good here as they come in with a composition with that Twisted Fate. Once again, the ability to go a bit global here on the map. And Gangplank not even picked up this time. They feel like they have the composition they want with Ornn going onto that top side. And now Vulcan picks up the Rakan for even more initiation and support for the team.
And a lot of safety, it being paired with the Kalista for the double initiation there for him. That makes it very difficult to navigate as a Lucian mid for Golden Glue. These carry mids, they can be very oppressive, but if you die to roams early on, if you die to jungle pressure, if you are unable to get your advantage in lane over the Twisted Fate due to other members coming to the lane, then you become very ineffective very quickly. It's definitely one of those champions that you have a lot of presence early here for EG. They are all inning on winning this game and snowballing it early.
That's what I'm excited about. You know the fuse is lit already as soon as they hit the rift. Into the top lane, we do see Licorice going on to the Ornn, facing off against Huni's Rumble. And you can't think that Licorice isn't going to do any damage. Last game, it was Ornn versus Gangplank. Gangplank did 22,000 damage. Huni on Ornn still did 17,000 damage, the second most in the game. So we're still going to be getting damage out of the top lane here. Kobe, I'm excited. These guys are playing to the max right now, and we are on the rift.
If any time was a time to live evil, it is now for EG. They have to win 3 in a row. They have to go for the reverse sweep to continue on here through playoffs. Meanwhile, Cloud9 have been unbroken in their streak of Worlds appearances, and they don't want to stop this year. It would be so crazy with how they started the year out if this would be the one where their streak would break. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here. They need to win this best of 5 and the next one to show up. But you got to take it one game at a time, and that means one level 1 at a time. Defensive vision coming out here. Same old, you drop your trinket ward, and then recall for the sweeper for Blabber.
Bang, super safe. Zazel just playing behind Bramble Pit. And they could be routed from Tribrush here. Luckily, nothing's happening in there. Yeah, they just ping it to say we may need to be very, very careful heading back through, but no help here for anyone. So kind of giving that idea maybe that Sven started on the top, but he's Lee Sin. They probably figured out where he could be at this point in time, and Blabber's going to be on his red.
And EG is just so much confidence here, giving their solo laners some bully picks and saying, all right, we are allowing you guys to be unleashed. Go aggressive. Try and get pressure in these lanes. Svenskeren is on Lee Sin. Definite playmaking available here. It does mean he also has a high priority on tracking Blabber to make sure that Golden Glue can use the mid Lucian to pressure Niski. You see him trying to play up in the minion wave, threatening Niski. If he goes for any CS, easy dash in. You always press the attack on Lucian for those solo lanes especially, so you can get the quick proc, dash in for your 2 autos, try and get one more for the damage burst. He's able to get the piercing light off, which was the aspect of the kit that was buffed.
Nice little dance on the bot side as they trade back and forth. See Blabber heading back down towards the bot as well. We'll see if he can join in anything as Vulcan starts to ward it up. And I am excited to see what Golden Glue can do on this Lucian. Like you were saying, they gave him the powerhouse lanes. I talked about Golden Glue a little bit in game 1, and he really has shown himself a lot. So to say he's got to show himself more is definitely wrong. But I think for him, he wants to see the results come in, right? We've seen him make the plays. It just seems like he makes it to the finish line, and it doesn't come through for him. So it would be awesome for him and the fans to see that happen. And here, he can make it happen himself, so that's very cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, Golden Glue has a super long history in the LCS bouncing around teams. He actually spent almost 2 years between Cloud9 and Cloud9 Academy.
Yeah.
So big history with the organization as well, and he's always tried to put in the extra work to show up on the stage games. Now in the playoff series here, it is going to be critical, and we'll see if they can rely on the performance. Snare lands here from Fang. Quickly fended off by Sven and Vulcan, though.
Absolutely. That's Golden Glue is a mentality you absolutely have to recognize, especially as a coaching staff. Here we see the lanes, 27-17. We know he's going to be able to give Niski a bit of harass, and Niski's looking for a quick 6 here so he can get out of that lane and pressure other things. So far, so good there. Sven doesn't look like he'll get the dive just yet. The wave hasn't collapsed, but they will find Blabber. So we'll see how this one plays out as Huni is going to have Licorice pushed up. And they can get the 2v2 going. The smoke screen looks like it'll just close this one off from an actual fight, though.
And Blabber's got his recall off, too, so he's feeling, pretty good about... Ooh, flash blown.
That was quick. Oh, flash blown again as they try to go back in for the fight. It seems like everything is just out of reach to make it work on this one. Very low mana for your marksman here. And it looks like they will back off to just keep farming. Nothing ever happened.
Interesting, because we had a wraparound gank. Blabber's actually dashed over the back of the Dragon Pit, walked around the Scuttle Crab, and ganking topside Huni right now, but bottom side was scrapping too.
As well, Huni's pretty healthy in that fight as he's scrap shielding away. He's getting the alcove play, but down on bot. Sven gets the heal coming in, putting back to 300 as now we're to top the 2v1s for Rumble. We know how dangerous it can be for the opponents ganking the Rumble, and Huni looks like he's going to probably pick up a kill on LCR. One harpoon, a second one follows, and he can't keep going with the turret damage, and now it's Blabber in the alcove. Can he make it? Nope, he cannot. He goes down. That's first blood for Huni. What an extended fight to just walk Cloud9 around for Svenskeren to get there.
Yep, they go at Huni's Rumble, and Svenskeren is able to arrive in time. They chase down. Blabber's cornered in the alcove, dodging as much as he can. Nowhere to go, though, on the outside. Once again, Blabber got here by dashing over the back of the Baron Pit. Then he's able to run straight at Huni. Now, sweeper on, Huni is cornered. He's trying to buy time for Svenskeren, so it's important to dodge. He's able to get out of the damage from that end of the line, and then flashes towards Svenskeren, who chases Blabber through, flash for flash there as well, allowing Huni the 1v1 with Ornn, who can just burn him down, forces him out of the fight, completely away. Then it's a 1v2, and Huni can go collect the rewards in the 2v1.
I like that Huni with the T1 first blood emo. Remembering. Yep. He's remembering. He's ready to champion this game right now. We'll see if he can do so. One kill to that Huni Rumble pick on the top side of the map. And C9 wanted that. Remember, that was Huni being able to contest it back. But now to the bot side, that's the level 6 Niski. We know he wanted out of the mid lane as fast as possible. And that is Bang going down.
Cloud9 trying to continue to fight around bottom triangle of the map off of their Kalista lane, while EG trying to fight off their winning solo lane matchups. Both of them finding some purchase. First blood over to EG, obviously, but Cloud9 quick to respawn. And once again, successful Twisted Fate ults. Now he's going to successfully gold card the attempted steal.
Oh, he was hoping it was low enough that he could just go for the flip side hit. The rest of the team now in a 3v4, but C9's very low, and Huni should be able to pick up quite a few kills here. Overheating is going to stop him on Niski, but Vulcan flashes right in to get cooked. Oh, he thought there was enough time from the overheat and they could get out alive, but there's never enough time against Huni.
Yeah, it looked wild here with the attempted flank from Svenskeren going for the steal. Niski found him out and stunned him up so they get the kill after forcing him in. But because of Huni's teleport, we get to see the famed Rumble ultimate at Dragonfight. And he comes in with the flank. Flame Splitter actually doing most of the work there. Even returning topside on a cannon wave, so not losing too much out there in the CS from the Ornn trying to push, although LCR does still hold the level lead. 3 kills now on Huni for his proactive use. This is Huni's Rumble that has always been banned out, talked about so much.
Yep. It's not banned out as well, and he is enjoying it right now, just continuing 3-0, 8 minutes in on this game. And now LCR is going to have some work to do as we go back down to this fight here on the bot side. The teleport comes in. Huni separates himself immediately from LCR and just gets out. So he calls in the Ornhorn too.
Yep, then bottom lane comes up. Nice hook there from Zeyzal. It kind of sections off Cloud9, so Huni has to only deal with 2 members. He can burn down Kalista first, and Zeyzal comes in, chasing with Golden Glue to force the other ones out, and they also got to push the extra minion wave in.
Vulcan hoping for a bit of that Guardian proc. You could see him on Niski. He's like, come on, come on. Not coming up for him. Unfortunate, but good thought, though, as he kind of just fed up another kill to Huni. He's even happier about the play, and Huni's charged up here just above heat level so he can do some extra damage. Right for Blabber as he knows Svenskeren's coming through. That's one quick hit, and that is going to be Blabber going down. Golden Glue quickly rotates mid as his lane was already pushed. That's what he's been doing in Niski, and that's why we've been seeing Niski rotate to the fights. Golden Glue finally gets the one quick and can help that pressure.
Yeah, pretty greedy there from Cloud9. Blabber starting up that Rift Herald, and then they try and fight on Huni's Rumble again. burns them down. Licorice is going for the long run. If Orin could use the blast cone to just buy some more time, but you have to buy a lot longer than he's going to have.
All right, so Golden Glue assist. Zeyzal says, nah, I don't need an assist on that. And that was nice, at least a charge forward so that kill doesn't go to Golden Glue. But still to Sven, and he's feeling good on Lee Sin here as he enters back into his jungle. So EG resetting on the map, bringing a few members back out of base here, some core items being finished up, and that means they are leaps and bounds ahead of their opponents right now, at least with what they're on the map with.
That last Rift Herald force was really critical for EG. That Huni just turns on Blabber, roasts him as Svenskaren's heading up, because not only did they get those kills, but getting the Rift Herald as well for the early plate money to give more power to the early game focus that EG have pulled up here. With the Lucian, you're always trying to play aggressively in your lane. You see the CS lead here held by Golden Glue in mid. And you try and transfer that, pushing in onto the turret plates, as Blade of the Ruin King is done. So first item Power Spike is here, and then you can use the Rift Herald to finish off one of these towers with the lower turret plates and the extra armor they do give.
A little fight here on the bot side as Bang firing over the shoulder of his support of Zeyzal. Zeyzal goes gold. Fate's Call comes in, and they may want to continue this fight. They know Svenskaren's just above that. Rend was enormous coming in from Sven. The heal there to keep them in the fight and going. And I do not think Zeyzal expected the damage. Huni coming in once again in between the turrets, behind the turrets. It doesn't even matter. Behind enemy lines is where this man lives, and the shot's almost enough, but the potion chug just in time here keeps Blabber alive. Now Vulcan's in a sore spot as Svenskaren was still roaming around after taking Dragon, and now he's in a 3v1. Over the wall, finds it. That's one quick kick, and he's going to be able to take down Blabber. Now another one is facing Svenskaren. Says, you're in here with me.
EG bet all in on early game Ariv. They bet all in on game number 3, the must win, and it is paying off. You could double their money now. They just go full steam ahead, diving the tower. Huni's Rumble at the forefront again, right behind the tower. 2v1 forces them off, flashes in even, and everybody playing off that aggression. Golden Glue diving the tower. Svenskaren taking that 2v1 as well. Turned into a 3v1 as Blabber flashed in front of Sven to save his life. He takes the bullet, takes the Sonic Wave for his AD carry, but just gets immediately killed as well. And we're right back out to it.
And Huni taking Licorice down to half HP immediately. I think if there wasn't a cannon wave here, that would have just been an instant fight and kill. Quarter of a cooldown now coming up onto that equalizer as Huni quickly clears out the wave. And we'll see this one more time. He's walking with confidence. He knows it's going to be a kill for himself. He comes through, and equalizers especially from that range, just playing it out can usually be difficult for a player, but he doesn't hesitate one bit.
This is why if you do something, you have to do it 100%. They pick 2 heavily winning solo lanes, so Huni could push up and go for the dive. Then Svenskaren is taking the 1v3 in here, kicks him over, flashes forward. Even though Blabber jumps in front, he'll take that kill instead. That's fine. They're still sending the Kalista back to base. And just the full commitment here on diving through and trying to take that momentum forward. We saw another effective Rumble use, and Golden Glue trying to keep up the pressure. Him getting Niski that low, 50% under turret in the first place, is why EG go for the play.
We saw Senna down there picking up a few souls. Ken at 10 minutes, so a few more as she has been able to pick up in lane. We'll keep you updated on those throughout the game as it goes. Golden Glue now has blue buff in mid, and he can just start slinging spells at Niski. It's going to be a quick use of the Ghost to get out of that. Switched over to teleport on the unsealed spellbook. Now Huni is back in another 2v1. Has taken quite a bit of damage after the Brittle started to get him locked down, and now Niski's up here to take down Svenskaren as they saw him on the Destiny Eye, and that is a quick hit. Golden Glue now trying to get his hand on this fight, and that's a quick kill. One piercing light, the resonating strike coming in from Svenskaren, and on the edge of a fight Cloud9 thought they were owning. Oh my god, is this happening right now? Everybody being baited in.
What a bait here. Niski stopwatch and inventory. Golden Glue didn't check before he finished off that dive. But Riv, they're still getting the early kills. They're pushing it ahead. They have to worry about how much gold they give back over to Cloud9, because again, this is a must-win game for EG. Cloud9 are sitting pretty. They have the extra buffer here with the 2-game lead, Here's a look at the setup, though. Flabber is in the Fog of War on your right, so that's why Licorice is going for the all-in here onto Huni, and they do make it count, even with the Senna ultimate coming up from bottom lane. Svenskeren then coming in, Niski just flashes right on him, and if it was just Svenskeren, they would have been able to chase him off, but Golden Glue flashes in to save his jungler, and they pick up the second kill, but then Golden Glue goes for the fateful dive onto Niski. His red buff was still on him too, so the tower acquired target right before going into Zhonya's as well, and then just finished him off.
that was a big one where you're like, yeah, I'm so powerful. Wait, why is this thing hitting me already?
It's a little early for that.
Oh, yeah. Still super aggressive, and they're sticking to it. I love seeing that. You can't let up. You can't feel like, great, we have a lead. Let's go to taking objectives and take turrets when they make a mistake. No, you make your opponent make mistakes with the lead you have, and you keep pressuring them into disadvantageous situations. So Svenskeren now trying to take up Herald. They'll have eyes on this so they know what movement around the map is happening from Evil Geniuses on the side of Cloud9, but there's not much they can really do about it right now. EG is doing a great job at protecting themselves, even if they're going forward. I say that after we watch Golden Glue dive. You get it.
All right, Cloud9.
Huni going to pull down that equalizer, and not much is going to come of it as he gets taken down by 4, and we see how much C9 is committing on a bit of these plays. That's going to leave mid open, and Rift Herald here for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, Cloud9 committing to try and take out the big impetus for that problem, the Rumble. So they all attack Huni. It does come at the cost of mid lane turret, but with the Rift Herald already in inventory for EG, they were probably going to lose that one anyway. Here we go.
Golden Glue standing toe-to-toe with 3 to 4 of his enemies for a secret play from the brush and gets out pretty much unscathed. These are the kind of things you need to see. This team, everybody finding windows of opportunity, not just Zeyzal or Svenskeren with a hook and a kick. Really cool stuff. Vulcan now playing a bit of sentry for Sven as he farms a bit low on wards, and he does not want to use the pink right for this brush.
Should be split map here as Ornn continues to push through, takes the top tower, and Twisted Fate ultimate ready.
Rinse and repeat on Huni. That seems to be the name of the game right now for Cloud9. They're going to have to chase him real far into the turret. The flash forward and almost. That save coming through for Bang on the shield, just short on the cross-map fire, and Cloud9 seem like they have a plan in mind.
Yep, continuing to attack Huni. They take him down again. Now, he had the decision whether he wanted to try and flash for some of that damage, but Senna ultimate coming through, maybe thought he was going to get enough with the shield not to go down. And Cloud9 are getting some gold back for themselves and splitting the map here. So they give up bottom side turret for them taking top side one. The problem that they're going to run into might be the Dragons, as EG with the 2-0 early lead on Dragons, but Cloud9 catching right back up in gold, and Licorice approaching ornament time, where he's able to upgrade his own items and then start handing out those of everybody else. Keep your eyes on the Twisted Fate ultimate cooldown, because that is where they've really been able to pressure EG in the cross-map plays. EG trying to play so aggressively, you end up spreading out on the map and fanning out and trying to, if you spread yourself a little bit too thin, that's where comps with Twisted Fate will punish you really heavily. The Ornn teleport being up too means that Huni can get, or Licorice can get in there very quickly and get the long-range CC to set it up.
Just about at 17 minutes, Senna was at 25 stacks. So she does get that 25 range, 25 critical strike. Bang! Oh my word, from screens away. Bang goes down as Cloud9 shows us how they want to initiate with this composition.
Another pick here. Yep, that is definitely long-range Ornn ultimate. He landed the slow and then right through. Bang did not flash the second part of the Ornn ultimate either. So a lot of EG members saving flashes here. Maybe it comes to fruition when they try and fight the dragon. 2.5 minutes left away. If sometimes, you know, you give up some gold here in the mid stages while you're waiting for the objective, you can argue, hey, could be a big flash play at this dragon fight. They're focusing on you know, getting to that soul. It is a cloud soul once again though for them.
Correction, 15% critical strike chance rather. with Senna's souls coming through, and we'll keep you updated on those. 20 CS behind, but getting a few of those stats to help out. Looking at core items now, Zanya's in there for Niski. We saw him getting a little too tricky with those in honor of Messiah there in a few plays last game. I think he'll be a bit more careful with where he's going so he can help out the team in the fights. EG with a 2K gold lead here, feeling like they can roam through the jungle alone, and that's not the case. Cloud9 pick up another kill on Dahuni quickly from about 3-0 to 4-4 now for that top laner. Zazel tries to get into the fight as Svenskaren's a little bit pitched. Golden Glue's culling is not going to hit much, but Sven is low. All of Cloud9 is still happy to take this fight as they are moving forward as 5, and they're looking for a kill. The next one's going to be on Svenskaren. The follow-through comes in from Licorice, and Cloud9 now stands tall. 16 seconds on the Baron, 1 minute on to your Cloud Drake.
This is something that was true of Cloud9 as well at their greatest heights. Even when they were losing some of the earlier skirmishes, they never give up on forcing those plays. And they just been picking Huni over and over. This time he flashes as well, and they still get the kill. More money to the side of Cloud9. They've almost completely closed that gold lead. Thankfully for the EG side, they can revive before that dragon comes up. But Cloud9, look at that. Because of the success that they have had in the last 8 minutes, they've racked up bounties on 4 of their members. They just keep on forcing through. And Niski with the Zonias can get super aggressive now with his Twisted Fate. Here's a look. Huni, what are you doing poking around in this jungle? These are not your areas. As he gets chased out, flashed out as well, and Cloud9 are happy to pounce on that one. A little bit too far forward into enemy territory there for Huni. Then Golden Glue tries to take down Sven on the outside, but Sven flashing over and then avoiding the culling means there's no counter kill, so Svenskaren eventually will get chased down as Niski flashed for him. Roar.
Fire breath. I can see Huni wanting to be there, right? Scrap Shield plus Cloud Drake, you probably feel invincible as you're flying around the map at 100 miles an hour. So seeing what that can come out of, he's like, I'm cool to be here. I can slow you with a harpoon. Oh, wait, again, the other team can initiate from screens away. So
then you walk over the control ward in the bush and you're like, oh, they know I'm here. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, we are investigating audio issues right now for Cloud9. That's why we have this quick pause. Maybe comms got flooded there as they are all getting amped, running, kill Huni, get him! And they are successfully able to do it again. But this is just building up to a crescendo in this game as EG came out just firing in the early stages and got this big gold lead. But Cloud9 have come right back, closed the distance, and they are just one game away from closing up the series to continue on through playoffs.
Yeah, it's the elimination game, right? And it could be a rematch of TSM if that's the way that the games go. As we look at the way the bracket works out, it's still TSM versus Golden Guardians, elimination from that match, and we just get it playing on and on. I'm actually loving the playoff bracket this time around because we're seeing it not be a fluke for some teams. But looking back at this game, C9 is on that game point. They've pushed EG back, and to see how often C9 is able to do this, how strong they are in splits, even when they falter to find success once again, it is pretty incredible, and they've been an organization to always do it.
Yeah, I mean, again, everyone's talking about the streak of Worlds appearances, got to be on the line, but they are used to it with all their gauntlet runs. Meanwhile, EG, I like the commitment to the style in this game, you know?
Okay.
When your season is in danger of ending, they put everything through with this style.
Live evil.
Huni, Rumble, Golden Glue, go all out with the Lucian. Go for it. You know what? Win lane, push in, try and make these aggressive plays, try and snowball the game. You can see the draft here, how it played out. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, they were like, okay, we'll pick the Senna Nautilus. And they've actually been setting up a decent amount around that as well. A lot of snares landing for them, but Cloud9, I think the Twisted Fate pick is really shown up as being one of the keys of them getting a lot of the picks to get back in this one.
Even if we're getting back into the game quite shortly, even if the game goes kind of awry early, we'll see Niski leave lane right before 6 or just around 6, and Golden Glue doesn't expect it. Oh, he backed. But then from base, he's somewhere else. He's bot. He's making that presence immediately. And we saw it in this game. Because the Lucian pushes you in, he had to get out of that lane quick. And we expected to maybe see some more jungle pressure, always towards the mid lane. We did see it in the second game when they kept hitting up Golden Glue's Cassiopeia to make sure that was dead. But this time it's taking out Huni. They've always had an objective, and they've always been able to go after that, even in the kind of eyes of evil geniuses continuously winning fights. C9 doesn't break from their objective.
Yeah, I mean, you live by Huni, you die by Huni. We'll see. Is he getting these big kills with Rumble? Is he burning people down? Or, does he get picked off by Cloud9?
Well, the thing is they just smother him, right? If he's going to lay down the equalizer, they just all dive towards him because he's not laying it on himself anymore, and they're just finding a way to quickly get around that now and chase him out of the fight. So Huni's got his work cut out for him here. I can't wait to see what he does.
Yep. We'll get into the thrilling conclusion of the game quite shortly here.
Right now.
And speak of it, we're right back out. All right, Huni has revived, back out here with the Rumble. 2 items. He did rush right into the Void Staff afterwards.
Yep.
Teleport is ready for both top laners.
We're back in, and so is Cloud9. Zazel forced to flash over the wall. Golden Glue and Svenskeren have a really nice side swipe on this fight. Huni screaming through with the scrap shield. The equalizer is a cutoff for what would be the fight onto the right side. FLICKR still gets out okay, and Cloud9's not damaged too much by that Rumble ult. Now, Drake is up. This is number 3 coming in. No soul on either side of the map, but it would be nice to have that Rumble ultimate here. Not too much of Cloud9 was used to get away from EG on that fight, Kobe. This one goes back in. Fate's Call starts from Sven, and they're right on to Zazel. Now going down onto Niski. The rest of Cloud9 has the back of EG, though, as Niski uses that Zanius he got in this game. He's going to be able to get the help needed from the Cavalry to take down Huni on this fight once again. And C9 knew the big ults were down, and they could once again run right through.
Cloud9 taking over now. Yes, they will have a Cloud Soul fight in the back of their minds, but it's pretty far in the back of their minds now, because after winning that fight, you can get the Baron, unless Svenskeren gets some sort of miracle still here. Let's see if EG can maneuver Svenskeren through to pull it off. Otherwise, Cloud9 Baron will be devastating.
Golden Glue in, trying to draw distractions. Svenskeren with a pretty early Q, so he has to get in close with a safeguard here. Kicks away. 300 HP. Oh my God, Baron got so low before they smited. Blabber didn't even get that off, or didn't have it up. And they're going to be getting into the fight now. Svenskeren picking that up for Evil Geniuses, and they're moving through with confidence now. A double kill coming in for Golden Glue. And Kobe, I saw it at 800, 500, 400, 300. What was happening?
Well, Cloud9 had the rend. Sven does get killed. Blabber got kicked. Svenskeren played it really nicely, getting into the back of the pit. And Svenskeren versus his old team makes a hero play. This is how we got there, though. Dragon fight. Okay. Teleport in here from Cloud9. They chase him down. Remember, there is no ultimate from Huni because he just whipped one towards the mid lane. Without that ultimate, Cloud9 are free to chase down Evil Geniuses. They pick up these kills and like, okay, you know what? Everybody survives. Blabber barely healing up there means we can go right to Baron and force it. They want to try and combo the Rend and the Smite from Blabber, but you see on the outside here, Svenskeren. Well, never mind. You can go look at the replay yourself if you're on a rewind. Baron buff is in the hands of EG now. We got to live in the present. No use living in the past.
Horn comes out, fired over towards the Raptor pit, and the fight ensues. A very low bang. Has to leave this one and heal off the buff, but it's not going to be enough. Zazel goes down quickly to Cloud9, and they're trying to pincer in from every side now. It's going to be Vulcan diving in off of this one if they can catch Svenskeren. A quick battle dance to his teammate, and there the knock up, the pop up. Sven is down, and they're looking for even more. Bang's trying to heal on the way out, and they do have a good recall, but they need to get out fast. Actually trying to turn on Niski, but Licorice is there for help. Mid's being pushed. Cloud9 now getting a bit of control over the map where they're able to move the waves. It shows you how forward and how far ahead EG was previously.
Yeah, and Cloud9 have no reason to slow down. gone over how crazy their initiation is so many times. You have Rakan, Ornn, and Twisted Fate. That is guaranteed able to get to the back line of EG, able to stun up and lock down somebody. They've used it over and over on Huni to punish Huni on the Rumble, get multiple kills for them to get back into it. But despite a lot of the objectives going EG's way, Cloud9 are getting a lot of the kills. And they have now surpassed EG in money. The Cloud Soul fight is now approaching for Evil Geniuses, though, and they still have 1:29 second left Baron buff here, at least on Huni and Golden Glue.
Back onto the Rift. See Bang rotating up. He's now at 39 stacks on the Senna. No kills to his name, though, just the assist as the bot lane having a bit of trouble getting good participation in these fights. We saw Bang get pushed off so quick last fight, and then previous ones he cannot get to that kind of front line because the back line, like you said, already has Vulcan and Niski on it immediately. 25 minutes on the clock, just passing here as we have a Cloud Drake coming up, and this is Soul Kobe. EG is going to set themselves up here, and we'll see how much they're going to fight for this one.
And Niski with the 15 stacks in his Medjais has the extra bonus as well on top of it. Licorice does have teleport on the Ornn for the Cloud9 setup on this Dragon. And EG definitely want a big boost of power with getting the Soul, but they have to be so careful. The bigger thing on your mind should be the team fight. If you get the Soul here and you lose the team fight to Cloud9, you will still lose.
Yep. That's a really great point. Seeing where the TF ult's coming from, Licorice throws it to the backside, instantly get banged. He did not know which way to look. What a combo from Cloud9, just sorting out what members of EG they need. Now Zeyzal drops Sven, so the marksman is down on both sides. Zeyzal and Golden Glue, however, just getting pushed out of the fights with slivers of health. Huni and Sven on the back line. Can they do enough damage or just be a distraction? Neither's enough, and Cloud9 is able to whittle away for the Bud Light ace against Evil Geniuses.
Niski says, not even close, baby. Walks his way out. He does not drop in the end. Cloud9, they get the team fight and the Dragon. Best of all worlds there. It's a full ace, so they will lay destruction. That's gotta be at least the inhibitor here.
Just they head back. JK. They're happy with what they need. Honestly, not doing too much damage just yet to a bunch of the structures, especially if Bang's going to be pushing them off. Flabber here by himself, able to get up close with all the shotgun bullets, will be able to destroy some stuff. And now we're getting up here under 30 minutes. We'll watch a replay of that previous fight.
All right, so Niski Twisted Fate. You see him on the minimap down in the bottom here. He's got a Zonia, so he can go very deep to initiate. Their eyes are on Bang. Look at this. Gold card into Ornn ultimate. Knock up. He's dead before he hits the ground, Riv. Now, without the Senna there, it's an attempt at a really good comeback in the teamfight. Sven Skarin able to pull off the kick to get the kill for EG onto Kalista. But because Cloud9 got such an early lead in the team fight by taking down Senna, they just pull through by pulling down into the red quadrant of the jungle and just further chase the rest of EG, cleaning up those kills and kiting just enough for Niski to live.
The whole team is getting in on this too. Look at the damage from Blabber. Ornhorn comes out. EG's going to have to contest this one as Cloud9 is always wanting the fight. Sven Skarin going very low, coming back up from Resurrection, probably going to go down real fast. But can he stay alive is the question. Vulcan finds him with a bit of damage from Sven, and they take him down immediately. Sven now moving in towards Golden Glue. He is the last one standing. EG just got ace, and it looks like they will all be going back to their base once again. Another ace for Cloud9.
And this time around, right next to Baron, teleport can come out as well, so Niski gets back out to pushing. Cloud9 with Ren should be able to secure it. Whew. Another initiation, and again, Niski teleporting with Twisted Fate into the backline onto Bang. Just the Glitch Bane gold card with his 25 stacks Medjais. Takes out 50% of his health, just annihilating him in the backside, allowing the rest of Cloud9 to deal with the rest of the team.
Just putting the finishing touches on this one. No smite, but no need this time. Not a worry. This Red Bull Baron going over to the side of Cloud9, and that will help them get to the lanes they need and do whatever they need now to really close out this game. 8,000 gold lead after being down about 2, maybe 2.5, so 10,000 gold comeback so far, and they are pushing that 26 to 15 kills in what has been a bloody series, Kobe, as these teams continue to go punch for punch.
Yeah, we're seeing the aftermath of what happens if you don't snowball when you all in on lanes like this with the solo lane picks.
It was almost there. It was almost there.
Yeah, but that's why a lot of teams are too scared to do it. It's so dangerous. If you make a mistake, if you give some gold back over, then you start to get crushed in it.
Vulcan clear out and ward duty right now, as they are really no fear for C9 to be moving around the jungle. They have the ability to escape. Vulcan can even pressure to kind of bait things like this. He says, hey, is there anything in this brush? Yes. Did I bait him?
Found ya.
Did I curse him? He can get out. There's the dance out for himself. The entrance to exit, if you will. Ultimate comes down from Huni, and everything seems to be not something they can follow up on from Evil Geniuses. They want the ult, they want to deter Cloud9, but there's no follow-up damage, so it just looks like it's making it easier for Cloud9 to take what they want.
Yeah, I mean, these are the benefits of having the orange topside tank, right? He's just massive front line. Meanwhile, EGF, no structure to their team fights, so it's really hard for them. And they had to pull out some bush ganks or something. But here we go, Cloud9 looking to get the 3-0 sweep. Can they finish?
Yeah, Cloud9 coming in through that lower bracket saying the water's fine. We know what a gauntlet's like. We like playing consecutive games and taking consecutive series. This one is going to be a 3-0 over Evil Geniuses.
All right, Cloud9 in gauntlet form activated, Riv. In the lower bracket here, they pick up their 3 wins versus EG. And we'll move on to the next best of 5 that is necessary for them to win to claim that world spot.
And stronger and stronger fashion throughout. They were able to find the compositions they wanted to play. I think you pointed out rightfully so. TF continued to play a huge part in these compositions of just being able to start things off even if other lanes were looking bad or the jungle didn't get the start it wanted.
Yeah, and huge props to the bottom lane of Cloud9 for all series long, being a big point of power for them. Really good adaptation here. I'm still going to look at quite a few champions for Cloud9 as we progress through their champion select in this playoff series, because there's quite a few things that have popped up, like Lilia, still the Caitlyn, things that are going to morph as we get more and more games on 10-16 and teams continue to adapt.
All right, well, there it is. Cloud9 takes the victory over Evil Geniuses. We are going to be taking a quick break, but when we come back, we will have Sven for your Verizon post-game interview. You won't want to miss it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the LCS. Forecast says that the evil has been neutralized as Cloud9 press further within their playoff run here in the lower bracket. Sven, after that victory, a 3-0 for Cloud9, but I just have to get from you, what has morale been like now that you're facing what feels a bit more like the gauntlet?
I think we were just confused when we lost the FlyQuest. We were like, what the? We lost the FlyQuest. I honestly thought we were going to sweep them 3-0 and it wasn't even going to be funny what we did to them, but we lost 3 games, and the games we lost, like the second game and third game, sorry, was like really bad. We were so far ahead and we threw, and scrims, we look so much different. We are so much more aggressive, so much more decisive. We don't make like these bad plays. So I was like just honestly confused that we lost. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, I thought this was going to be a easy win. But I think we watched the series and we came to the conclusion that we just had a really bad day, bad play, and bad understanding of our drafts, win conditions, and we fought too much early when we were scaling drafts, and we fought, at worst times possible. So I think just reset and focus on next series.
And that's part of it, right? Focusing from series to series. And admittedly, if you look at even Bang before that had tweeted earlier in the day, congratulating Cloud9 on going to Worlds. So I think their expectations were to be facing FlyQuest here again, but it was you two facing off against one another. And I want to dive into some of the differences in the series because unlike game 1 and 3, the second game was a bit of a deeper shade of the Cloud9 dominance. What do you think was the reasoning for that? Was it draft or something otherwise?
Yeah, I think it's no secret that we do a lot better when our ball lane has agency. Like our original, Spring Split dominance came from like this winning ball lane, stacking dragons, hopping for heralds, doing 4 dragons in 25 minutes into the game. And that game has all that. We have winning ball lane matchup, or at least it's equal, right? And we have, lots of playmaking with Blitzcrank, TF, and Kalista. So I think we just do a lot better when we have playmaking in the ball lane, and top side is more of a tank or utility role. So I think it's very much draft related, and also shows that we don't play as well when our ball lane doesn't have early game agency, which is a flaw that we have as a team. So I guess it shows that.
You and Vulcan were out synergizing Bang and Zeyzal with the Kalista play, and kind of diving a bit deeper into that, you and your consistent performance is clearly a part of why reliance on the bot lane is key. But do you think it's as much that as the fact that dragon control and things are as important, or is it a mixture of both within the meta?
I mean, I think the soul is important. If it's like Ocean or Infernal, even Mountain in some games, it's really powerful. So I think having early game agency is really important. I think we as a team play the best when our bot lane and jungle has that agency, and Niski and Eric are playing some sort of like either tank or a roaming champ from Niski, or like something that can do their own thing, but also roam or have globals like TF, Galio in the past. Like we play much better with those champions. So I think just our identity as a team is bot lane wins early game and jungle deals with the dragons. We get dragons, herald swaps, we play on neutrals. That was like our original style. So I think us moving to something more scaling like Ezreal, Yumi, and FlyQuest isn't something that we are bad at. We're just not as good at that as we are as other things. So yeah.
And some of those things were clearly showcased here in this match, which was one of the 2 remaining series that actually stand between you and Worlds qualification. For you, that would mean attending for the first time since 2017 when you were there when it was in China, first time since coming to NA. You are still the only player to have a title in both the North America and Europe. How hungry are you to attend Worlds once again, especially considering the pressure that is faced by Cloud9 due to the earlier success in the season?
Yeah, I mean, going to Worlds is definitely my most important goal for this year. Winning a title and being the first to win in both regions is obviously a big thing, and it was a big deal to me. And it was my goal at first when I came here 2 years ago with Mithy and joined TSM, right? But nowadays, I just want to go to Worlds. It's more important to me. Even though it's online this year, it's still more important to me to go to Worlds than to win a split. And now I have won a split, so I really just want to go to Worlds. I don't really mind if we go to Worlds and lose finals to someone else. It's not that big of a deal to me as compared to going to Worlds. So I have my sights set on Worlds more than anything. So, yeah.
It's worlds in your mind. So I'm sure you're all locked into this next series, which is either going to be between TSM or Golden Guardians, depending on the result tomorrow. Who do you think it's going to be, and how do you think that matchup would play out?
I think last time GGS swept TSM because TSM was not very prepared. They didn't do their preparation, I think, in those 2 days between their Sunday match into their match against GGS. But I think judging from scrims versus GTS and TSM, TSM looks a lot better than it did last time. So I think it'll be a close match. I think GTS looked okay versus TL in the early game, but they looked really bad in the mid game. So we'll see, I guess. I think it's going to be closer than last time. It'll be like 4 or 5 games at least. So I don't think it's going to be a 3-0 stomp either way anymore. So it's going to be close. And it could be fun playing against TSM in the World's deciding match.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you have maybe a little extra motivation if it comes between you and TSM going to Worlds. But thanks for stopping on by. It may be a close series coming up, but I'm sure we're all going to be watching it closely.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Cloud9 fans are feeling pretty divine as the single series stands behind them in a World Championship qualification. For us to hear more on the matchup that we just witnessed, let's send things over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, LaTigris. Sven giving some thoughts ahead of tomorrow's series, which will determine their next opponent in elimination best of 5 to make it back to that upper bracket and challenge for the final spot at Worlds. But they do what they need to do today. They lock it up in 3-0 fashion. And, Mark, they've done it in one of the bloodiest games in LCS history here up against Evil Geniuses.
I mean, this is a scrappy comp. You want Hooney's on his Rumble. You got Lucian mid. You got Lee Sin. It's Callista bot with Rakan. It's going to be a bloody game no matter what. It was even bloodier than I thought it was going to be, though.
It was a Hail Mary out of VG, really, when you're chucking out a Lucian mid with a Lee Sin and the Rumble top when you have no business in the late game, so you're trying to just win as hard as possible. And it looked like they were going to do it.
Prolly? What was that?
Prolly is
Prolly?
Am I?
Can you?
Oh, Prolly's dead.
Prolly's tweaking.
So we're gonna let him sort that out in the meantime. So let's dive back in because we had asked the question, rather I had asked the question going into Game 3. You know, with Hooney on the roster and things not working out with the strategies they had laid out in Games 1 and 2, is it time to pivot to a more quick carry-oriented champ in the top lane? And that is what they did this time around, and it looked to start off right.
Yeah, it was exactly what we were hoping for when they started playing Hooney on Rumble, his signature champion at this point, I think it's fair to say. And he was popping off. I mean, they were running the game through him. He was taking fights. It was really impressive to see Hooney getting this is a pretty fun
first kill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really well played 1v2.
The what was it called? The gaming, the
Alcove Gaming.
Alcove Gaming. Yeah.
There it is. Prolly, are you back?
I think I'm back. This is actually, I think, the second gank this series where Hooney's being 2v1'd and he turns the gank around for himself. So he's doing a really good job kind of baiting out these fights. And yeah, a lot of this early game started to go into EG's favor, and can Hooney actually carry hard enough, because he was pretty much the only one that was getting these kills, and he was making these TP plays. We haven't seen a TP advantage play in so long, but this one was so good. We always talk about you need setup for the Rumble ult. He just gets this Rumble out with any CC and then hides in the bush and gets his camp. Like, this is the kind of Hooney that I think they wanted to see all split.
Such a good play. Yet, despite Hooney's efforts, it really felt like the game was devolved into just sheer mechanics in team fights and a lot of individual mistakes, because Hooney started 4-0. Within, I think, a 5-minute span, goes 4-4. Just 4 back-to-back-to-back deaths.
Yeah.
Like this and another one. Like,
they're all on pink wards,
Look
too.
at the map.
My
Why
goodness.
are you there?
I mean, he's so ahead. He's like, I can walk in here and I can fight anyone. And it's not the 1v2 that he was doing. It's a 1v3 each time, or a 1 versus 4. So,
right.
Yeah, you can outplay maybe one extra person, but not 3 or 4.
And I think you have to give credit to C9 actually starting to execute their comp there. They have the TF. They start making global plays inside lanes. And anytime Hooney misses positions, they're on top of him. I think you have to give a little bit of credit to C9 for stabilizing, because they fell so far behind early on. We thought we were going to Game 4. And then to get pick off after pick off after pick off, punishing the really fed guy, I thought it was pretty impressive out of C9. And some of what made them so great in spring and the first half of summer was if they fall behind, they're never out of the game. They'll make the right plays, and they were doing that.
I love that call out, because in almost 100% of cases, when you see a 4-0 Rumble in a professional game, you're about ready to say, all right, lock it up, go next. They've extended the series. But Cloud9 giving us a glimpse of the Cloud9 of old, which never says die, always looks for the next play and takes that action. They were able to find it this time around. I think what's also interesting, too, is hearing from Sven specifically how he thinks Cloud9 plays best. With bot lane having agency, you heard it there, roamers and tanks engagers in the mid and the top side to really support that.
It's like what we identified here on the analyst desk. You heard it here first. How C9 plays. Sven confirmed it for us.
Thank you very much, Sven. But it is. If anything, I like to see it because this was the team that had done some experimentation, chalked up a lot of their, downturn in the middle of the split to that experimentation. And so if they feel they're finally finding their form, if they feel like they're finally landing on the right formula, that intrigues me for the next series and the series after that, if they are to take it.
I think it's also really important that the bot lane steps up because should Golden Guardians beat TSM or TSM's bot lane answers, it feels very bot lane centric right now. And when you're struggling to make plays around bot lane with the importance of the Drakes as well, you're going to have a really tough time in playoffs. But this was a big step up performance out of their bot lane.
And wouldn't you know, when it's bot lane centric meta, it comes to staying alive in our playoffs. Everyone in C9 had to step up. Today, of course, Sven, above all others, popped off to earn himself player of the series.
He had such a great showing. Despite not playing the Caitlyn, he still bodied Bang in the bot lane, especially game 1, where it was the largest discrepancy that we saw. But towards this second and third Kalista games was just really impactful. Not contested, and let's see what his KDAs ended up being. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. And not to mention, when they're drafting, they're taking 80 jungle and mid lane in the first 3. So it wasn't like they're taking, the Thresh Kalista or the Caitlyn Morgana together. They were actually splitting up the bot lane in draft, so they weren't even taking that many draft resources to get these picks. They did have early bans and early AD picks, but yeah, they were in no way just playing towards this, only win lane and don't scale. They had decent scaling, and even in one case they were getting banned out in supports and had to go to 4-5. So I do like the strategy they went with today, as long as they remember that this worked for them, and it worked for them earlier in the split. The TF in the first 3 in all 3 games, and even in the last game, they took TF in first 2 picks because they didn't want to give EG a chance to take it. So I hope they're gonna just remember how the series went and what made them win.
I also got to give a little tip of the cap to Vulcan as well. Stepped up quite a bit. Not as impressive in the TK game because his TK is hard to stand out. But then the Ballista combos were on point with his Blitzcrank. And his recon this game was actually fantastic. A number of times Sven Skaren hopped in to try and get an insec. And he almost always had his recon ult popped to charm him out of any combos. He played fantastic in game 3 as well.
Vulcan a close second in that conversation. If we pull up the bracket, though, we're coming down to the wire here, gentlemen. Only a few more best of 5 stand between us and an LCS Summer champion. There you can see on the top side, Team Liquid, FlyQuest, they're sitting pretty. They're waiting for the rest to do battle here at the bottom to see who will eventually rise to the top. TSM Golden Guardians, that's coming at you tomorrow. A rematch, a very exciting rematch, because the first time around it was so dominant on the side of Golden Guardians, but Sven dropped that little bit of scrim knowledge there, saying TSM has looked a lot better more recently. Do not forget to join us here tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. PST for the face-off between TSM and Golden Guardians as they race for the world's stage. And, of course, staying alive for that LCS title. Quick preview of tomorrow's matchups. How do you guys feel going into it, even after that little nugget of knowledge from Sven?
Oh, the scrim bucks are really swaying me here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
How many scrim bucks does it take, Crumbs? How many scrim bucks does it take for you to be a TSM fanboy?
For every 100 wins, which equals 100 scrim bucks, you get 1 LCS win. So
there it is.
I think that there's still not enough.
There's not enough time. They can't even scrim that many
How
games.
many scrim bucks is a Biofrost worth, though? Because they're still deciding on who's actually going to start the series. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, would that really raise your level of confidence? Because they did struggle with him in the lineup as well. What are you gaining there? You know, that you're losing with Treats.
Laning synergy.
Well, not just laning synergy, but Bio has playoff experience, very high intense playoff experience, whereas Treats does not. So that could come into play.
Yeah, Bio's put out game-winning plays within best-of-5 finals before in his career. So I guess that is something to be considered. Probably, you seem to be grappling with this.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree Biofrost has more experience and probably a better pool, but TSM's bot lane was getting smashed, and that's because they weren't good enough together, not because the individual pieces aren't good. Doublelift is fine, Treats is fine. So I think the the support swaps that they're going through right now is going to still leave them in a rough spot. The only positive, I think, for TSM right now is they know Golden Guardians ban mid, so they're no longer going into the series expecting Bjergsen to be the hard carry. So they have time to kind of adapt and give resources to other people.
All righty. Well, only time will tell. A few hours till they lock that in. And then, of course, tomorrow they hit the Rift to do battle. That's going to do it for us here, though, on the LCS today. So now on behalf of myself, the casters, the entire remote broadcast crew, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for more of the LCS playoffs. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Good night.
And they say I have a grim sense of humor.